You look at a gym and you piss your pants and faint. Because women are inherently seen as taking up more space than men. And we're live.
Yippee!
Wahoo!
Howdy, folks. It is time for the final Sigma Saturday. We are here to finish Virtue's Last Reward. Whether it kills us, whether it takes 8 hours, it won't, I checked. We're here to see through the ending of this game. I was just saying before we went live, the ending of this game is... I don't know if it's objectively, like, the best thing that I've played in a visual novel. It's got... I'm sure you could go through as an editor and find all sorts of issues, but it lives in my brain as just, like, the most buck-wild experience I've had playing a visual novel. And I'm so happy to get to share it with you all today. And two of the people I'm sharing it with are on the call. Say hi.
Hi.
It is very funny that PB says this, because for me, Virtue's Last Reward was like, okay, I really wanted to play 999, and I jumped in for 999, and Virtue's Last Reward was, at the beginning, was, well, my friends are really excited about this, so I'm excited for it because I like to see my friends get excited about the things that they care about.
Oh, absolutely.
And now here we are.
And it's also like, hey, there's a direct sequel to 999. You're going to tell me you didn't want to play that?
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, yeah, obviously. But in terms of, like, my emotional attachment to playing this game, I was like, 999 was the one that I was like, that I, like, knew about. I didn't know that there was a sequel. I'm glad that there is a sequel, but, like, I got no emotional stake in this.
Yeah, absolutely. 999 has a way better emotional arc than VLR.
Oh, no, it was literally because I knew that 999 existed before.
Mm-hmm. But no, I think, like, as a whole, 999 is a better, like, complete experience in that it's more compact. It does exactly what it sets out to do. VLR is a little bit more sprawling.
Yeah. I am sitting here with my emotional support lion.
It's like comparing Counterweight to Twilight Mirage.
Yeah, that actually feels really accurate to me.
That's not a bad comparison. No.
Zero Time Dilemma would not be partisan though. It doesn't work there.
I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
All right. Which I know the Friends at the Table crew has been also streaming these games in the same time period that we have, or at least Keith and Sylvie. So.
Yeah. But we're beating them to the end of VLR.
We're beating them to the end of VLR. I also have an emotional support. I didn't have a lion. I have a saber-toothed tiger. His name's Smiley because it's a Smilodon.
Niels, it's okay. This is my mom's. This was my mom's emotional support lion first. So.
Also, we are 50 hours into this playthrough.
Let's go.
All
and
right,
we're right back at it again to the beginning.
Let's fucking get into it.
Oh, yes, before we start, I've put up a finale twist counter. I truly do not remember how many things I would count as twists in this final chunk of the game, but I'm going to ask each of us on the call to do it, and also if you want to play along in chat, we are going to try to guess what number is going to be on that twist counter at the end of the stream tonight. And we're going to play Price is Right rules, so you want to be the closest without going over. So...
I've been counting. Yeah, I've been thinking in my head.
Uh-huh.
I immediately am looking at, I immediately am like 26, same as Sigma moments.
You're locking in on 26?
I'm locking in on 26.
All right, Mac, locking in on 26.
It's gonna be... not to say, okay, I'll say current Sigma moments, because I'm not ruling out the possibility that Sigma is going to say something extremely stupid in the last chunk of this game.
Oh yeah, there's a reason I haven't gotten rid of the Sigma moments counter yet.
PB, I want to hear yours before I do mine.
Man, I don't fucking remember. I'm gonna lock in at 8.
I'm gonna say 5.
All right.
And what's really great is appreciate that y'all are lowballing this.
And what's great is that we have control over what this number ends up being. So, like, we got Awful World Kid in chat going for 9. 9 of Neil's going for 4.
I think 4 might be. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then me up here going, well, y'all are talking about this being a twisty game, 26.
Mac's not gonna be out here like, I didn't expect that.
I might be including like.
I would say something like that. That's a twist, right?
No,
I might be including everything in my head since we got through the last since we defused all the bombs. So like, there's probably a couple extra in my head.
Sure.
Let's see, Red Seraph's on 7. All right, we've got a good broad range. It's gonna be honor system, and also I can go back and look through chat to see what people said. But also, there's no reward for winning, so. Let's just keep out of... I don't know. We don't need more stakes for this. This is fucking Zero Escape.
Let's beat VLR.
Let's beat VLR.
Let's beat VLR.
All right, jumping way down the timeline.
Yep.
You can say 6, Mighty Carrick.
Once again, I am shouting out the fact that the very first route that we went down in VLR was the final route. Why am I like this?
Yeah, Niels is right. The virtue will be its own reward.
That's true.
Oh. Huh. Looks like you're finally awake.
Is this the infirmary?
I will go back on push to talk if I have to, but hopefully the dog will be good. Why are we here? Do you know what happened at the AB gate?
Kay and I went back to the infirmary, but...
We waited and waited and you two never returned.
So we went to the warehouse to check on you.
We found you passed out in front of the AB rooms.
Kay and I hurried back here with you. I looked over at Phi and met her eyes. Do you remember what happened just now?
You mean what happened a long, long time ago?
Yeah. You got him pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I remember that, alright.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Quark!
What am I, chopped liver?
Alice!
back among the conscious and not psychotic, huh?
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Really, really funny thing to say.
Grandpa told me what you did. Thanks for finding the medicine for us.
No problem. All in a day's work. Although, this bitch. I'm counting this as a separate one because he just jumped back and then forward again.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright, counter updated. 27. Yeah, you always forget that Alice just looks like that until you play this game. Really grabbing at straws here, aren't ya?
Hey, I wasn't talking to Quark. That was an offer for Alice.
Not my point, dumbass.
Whatever, forget about that. Now that you guys are awake, all we've got to do is open the number 9 door. Huh?
What are you talking about? Look at your bracelet.
It says 10. I have 10 BP.
I've got 15. That means I got 6 more points while I was out.
But how? They played the fucking game, Sigma.
You've been asleep for more than 2 hours.
Holy shit.
We played the AB game 3 more times. It turns out once you take Dio out of the mix, it's just easy.
It's just easy.
If you don't put in someone who's like an explicitly bad actor, it's pretty easy to pass the AB game.
3 times? Yes. Of course, the color and group assignments were shuffled around each time. But no matter who voted, everyone chose Ally.
Points all around.
Yippee!
Wahoo.
And now all of us have enough to leave.
So are we letting Dio out or are we just leaving him here?
I was stunned. How had everyone cooperated long enough to raise all of our BP past 9? Well, Dio's handcuffed to a sink. Was it because Akane hadn't been killed? Without a death to start things off, maybe we'd been less suspicious of one another. Or could the bombs have had something to do with it? We'd all joined forces against Dio, and Phi and I had been able to disarm all of them. All of us had banded together against a common enemy and overcome a tremendous threat. Perhaps that had strengthened our bond. Which I had to admit would be somewhat ironic. After all, Dio had planted the bombs that forced us all to work together against him. This must have been what Akane was talking about.
Haven't I told you? Death was unavoidable. Sacrifices had to be made for the sake of the project. Come on, let's go! Let's open the door and get out of here!
Wait. What about him? After some discussion, we decided to leave Dio behind. Yeah, that's fair! Alice was the only holdout. She'd complained about wanting to take him back to her superiors, but after I mentioned they'd come back to investigate after we escaped and deal with Dio then, she reluctantly complied. Fair enough. All right! I love Clover so much.
Yay!
I do agree with Night of Neil's in chat. God forbid any woman in these games who isn't Akane wear a normal shirt.
True.
Yeah, Dio doesn't need food or water. He's like a succulent. He's fine if you just ignore him for like a month.
Yeah, he'll be all right. Let's get going.
He does have a hat he can eat.
Yeah.
Although I think he'd rather die than do that.
He could pull an Ed and Ling and eat his own boot.
It's also true.
Everybody ready? I'm gonna open it.
Yes, just get on with it.
All right, I think I need to go back on to push to talk. Give me 1 sec.
Sure.
As much as we all love Miles.
Well, PB goes back on push to talk, immediately cuts off their own sentence.
Immediately dies.
Yep, I'm so bad at push to talk. Anyway, as much as we all love Miles, this will be better for overall stream quality.
True. Everyone else swallowed and nodded. I grabbed the lever and pulled it down.
Without a countdown, for once.
Yeah,
Really,
he
the
did
biggest-
try and do a countdown.
But then he didn't.
Or no, he said. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
And he said, "Is everyone ready?" Which isn't quite the same thing as a countdown. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Opening a door is a great spot for a reveal, and I have been really confused that they haven't used it. I understand the limitations of the engine, though, so not that confused. All right, everybody, let's move.
Yeah, the door opening is one of the more obnoxious parts of the game. Like that, we see the doors open a little bit too often.
I just always expect to have someone, like, to open the door and for there to be somebody standing there.
Sure.
Also, this was also true in 999. There's so much focus on knowing the exact layout of the space you're in, and then it never really matters for the mysteries.
Yeah.
It, like, kind of matters in 999.
Yeah, it matters, and like there's like with
But
the
mostly
whole
on the floors.
with the whole like who killed Dio murder mystery on one of the routes here.
Mhm.
And who killed Alice, the layout mattered a little bit, but again, like, none of the deduction really counts on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's keep going.
I didn't need to tell them twice. The room inside was clearly a loading elevator. Looked sort of like a large plate on top of a huge pedestal. We ran to the center of the plate and turned around. The number 9 door stood wide open.
2, 1, 0. The number 9 door is closing.
I appreciate that any further reveals are not going to happen inside of this facility, or presumably are not going to happen inside of this facility. Very fun.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the Nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked.
So, we have done this once before in the game, which is
Yes,
Yeah.
we
that, like,
have.
you actually get to see all this before the actual true ending.
Mm-hmm. You do get to leave once, so you know outside it kind of looks like you're on the moon.
Looks like we did it.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Do you want to pick up Luna since you're missing a character, or I can keep her? Either one.
Shrug? No, keep Luna for now,
Okay.
unless you don't want her anymore. At any point.
I'll keep her. That's fine. We should keep moving. Beyond the door was a wide hallway that ended in a very solid wall. To the left, we found a very familiar-looking door. We pushed it open and went in. The pressure exchange chamber.
Nah, you know what this place is?
Yeah, sort of. This whole facility is pressurized, apparently.
Hey, Mac, I got a question. Has anyone been messing around with, like, ropes or pulleys anywhere nearby you right now? You should probably check your ceiling. I don't know. Theo in chat is pretty sure a bunch of anvils are going to fall on your head. Cartoon anvils, so they're not going to be lethal or anything.
Well, now you will recall that I said a significant number of plots. Sure, okay, fine, fucking whatever. Shut up, Theo. I think the idea is to keep the air outside and consequently the virus from getting inside. That means if we want to go out, we have to decompress so we match the outside air pressure. This room here is where you prepare for going into the actual pressure exchange room. You see all those suits along the wall. We have to wear those. We put them on and we head to the decompression room downstairs.
Whoa! Oh, what the fuck am I doing? I'm never Clover.
Oh, whoa! Hold on a minute. You're saying the air outside is full of that horrible virus? Yeah, that's what it seems like. Of course, according to Akane, we were all already infected with Radical 6, so the whole room seemed a little pointless.
Why? How did this all happen?
Oh, okay. Theo, if this is the particular twist that I think it is, I've been thinking this for over 6 months. Did they?
No, that's not possible.
We've come this far. We can't turn back now. Let's go outside. There's no way to know what's really going on until we do.
All right.
No one else objected.
Yeah, we could all use some good long decompression time after the stress of the notary game.
So true.
Yeah.
We all donned the protective suits and headed downstairs to the decompression room. As soon as we were all inside, the process began. Through my helmet, I could hear the soft hiss of air being sucked out of the room. We stood there for several minutes waiting for the process to finish. At last it did, and we heard the door begin to open. Beyond it was another decompression chamber. We repeated the process 2 more times before we reached the final door and opened it.
So, anybody know any good jokes?
I don't know, old man, do you?
Yeah, but none I can say in front of Quark.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I know a pretty good joke if you just let me go up there with you.
What was that? I didn't hear anything.
The dead, bleak landscape wasn't a surprise for me, nor is it a surprise for me. I'd seen it before, in another timeline. The others hadn't, however, and although I couldn't see their faces through the visors of their helmets, I heard more than a few gasps over the radio.
I had, asshole. You're not the only one who remembers things.
Yeah, okay, did you remember this one, Fi?
Yes, it was literally me who did the interrogating and got the actual bomb code out of him. You just stood there confused.
Yeah, but how many of the actual timelines have you remembered?
I remembered this one, fucker.
Okay, sure. Alright, fine.
Where the hell are we?
The desert, I guess.
I figured that out. I mean, which one?
I don't know, but I think I know what day it is.
Huh?
Look at the moon. Oh, shit. Duh. Obviously, it's a lunar eclipse. It's not Mars. Okay. Jesus. Fuck. Duh.
Oh, good bit, everyone.
That means today's the total or maybe not Mars, but like a red sun or something. That means today's the total lunar eclipse.
So,
Remember the astronomy magazine in the lounge? Well, the next eclipse like this was going to be on December 31st, 2028. So...
wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Are you suggesting we were sleeping for a week after we were abducted?
I think so. Girls, I think it's been way longer than that.
I just realized Push to Talk is only doing things for the Discord call, not the actual stream. I'm very smart. I'm very intelligent. Thankfully,
Wherever
the
we
barkeys
were
have ceased
must have-
anyway.
Wherever we were must have been far away from any city. The air was clearer than I'd ever seen it. And the stars. The sky was full of them. More stars than I'd ever seen in my life. I could even spot the hazy arm of the Milky Way. But the most striking feature was the moon. It was blood red and massive. Much bigger, in fact, than I remembered it being.
Just look up and it's just the Majora's Mask moon.
Yeah. Then, as I watched, a black spot began to move across its surface. It was hard to see details, but it looked circular. The spot continued to move across the moon, headed for the right edge. What's that?
Moon, obviously. Well, the moon's shadow, actually.
The moon's shadow? I frowned. That didn't make any sense.
Zero told me to stay quiet. I think he was worried I'd spill the beans on his operation. He said if I didn't toe the line, he would just kill me. He'd kill Quark too. I agreed, and like an idiot, and brought Quark with me. I still don't know why I did that.
Yeah, that was a bold fucking choice, Tenmyo.
Just so I could see her.
Oh, okay, so Akane is
Such a
not
fucking
Zero.
idiot. So, that being the case, may as well start with this. I meant what I said before. That up there is the moon's shadow.
Okay, what are you saying?
Well, think it through. That's the moon's shadow, then what's it falling on?
Oh shit, my alarm's going off, sorry.
All good?
Okay, so we are on the moon?
That's the Earth?
Okay, so we
Yep.
are on the moon. Which I thought when we came out the first time.
Yes.
And then second guessed myself, so I shouldn't have done that.
And also the first, flash forward glimpse of the bombs going off.
Yeah.
It also, looks like, oh man, that sure looks like a thing blowing up on the moon, doesn't it?
Yeah,
But then
it does.
keeps gaslighting you into, no, there's all these other reasons for it. This was the twist that I had accidentally spoiled for myself before I played this game, and then convinced myself, no, that's not true. That's not real.
Yeah.
It's a really funny twist to spoil yourself for because it means nothing.
Absolutely. Well,
Alright, does this go
yeah.
on the finale twist counter?
Yes. I think so.
I guess so.
I don't. It is a twist. I think
It's a twist.
undeniably.
I guess it's a twist.
Alright. One finale twist it is.
Yeah, Theo being like, this is the thing, always stick with your gut instincts is something that I've internalized for, test taking. And this time, I went Well, it could be the Nevada desert, which would be a really funny callback if Zero just put the nonary game back in the same place it was in.
That would be great. I'd love that.
Alright. Then again, it's not the red moon you get from a lunar eclipse. Then again, this isn't a lunar eclipse. This is a solar eclipse. Anybody in the black spot down there is looking up at the moon covering the sun.
What? No way.
Yeah, exactly, Knight of Neils. Moonshot folks secretly on the moon this entire time?
More likely than you think.
Yep. That was really, really why I was so excited for this specific twist.
Yeah,
like, hey, you want to know
really
where we got our moon base to run the podcast network out of? It turns out that it was on sale real cheap from some guy named Zero.
Oh, classic. Really good stuff.
If that's the Earth, then where the hell are we? You're on the moon, dumbass!
The moon, of course.
Thank you, Quark.
This is the lunar surface.
That was Junpei voice again, and that was Junpei voice again deliberately.
Oh, we were just inside a moon base.
No way! No, you've gotta be lying! I like that the people who are most confused are the 3 people who were cryogenically frozen! How do you expect us to believe that? This can't be the moon.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we do have a real logomorph problem in some of the podcasting equipment. Keep showing up and asking to guest on shows.
Yeah. That's who I am. I am just Zero Junior, I forgot to say, but that's pretty ridiculous. Besides, if this was the moon, how do you explain the gravity? The moon only has 1/6 of the Earth's gravity.
Oh, is that why Phi jumped like that?
So what's this?
Yep, that sure would be why she was able to do that.
That's really funny!
It's really funny, the thing, it just seems like a lol random character thing. Turns out there's a canonical reason for it.
She picked up a rock and dropped it.
See? That looked perfectly normal.
Yes, it looked that way. Luna? You were right about the gravity, in a way. Oh! Wait a sec! Oh my god. That's really clever!
It's so ridiculous.
No,
It's
that's
really good.
Because
That's
there's no real
really-
reason for this, that this had to be on the moon, but because it was on the moon, then we had to infect everyone with Radical 6.
That's so smart, actually. Holy fuck.
It's like,
I genuinely...
being
yeah.
so smart, you ended up doing something really stupid, you know?
Uchikoshi, what the fuck? Well, I suppose I'm not people, if we're being honest, but...
Excuse me? What?
Please, just listen. Alice, you were infected with Radical 6. Then we gave you the Accelavir, which cured you. The Radical 6 isn't completely gone, though. Some of its symptoms stick around for a while.
What symptoms?
Well... Radical 6 can slow down your brain's processing speed by the root of 1/6. It can take a while for your brain to get back up to speed.
Also like to reveal here that, like, we named our disease Radical 6 because the gravity on the moon is about 1/6 of that on Earth.
That's so funny!
But the fact that that's the direction the writing had to go, it's so good.
Math! Every one of us has been infected. In other words, all of our brains have been processing information at a much lower speed. If you evaluated the root of 1/6, you'll get a number close to 0.408.
That also means that every time Sigma's been counting down, he's been going 10, 9.
Oh.
Awful World Kid said, does this count as a second separate twist? I think yes.
All right, yeah, I think if Mark says that this counts as a separate Like,
I think that this counts as a twist,
Yeah.
even though I figured it out before Luna confirmed it, right?
Yeah. Like, it's things that we already knew, but putting them together in a weird way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess Akane did just tell us last time, but
Oh, Luna on the moon, yeah.
yeah.
As you said before, the moon's gravity is about 1/6 that of Earth's. The time that it takes for an object to fall is inversely proportional to the square root of the gravitational acceleration. Since the gravity is lower on the moon, that means the time increases. I guess that's a little technical.
Oh, mighty character chat. When Alice's symptoms worsened, she entered what we call tubular 6.
Luna and Zero are operating at very low CPU speeds. You're so right. Let me give you an example.
Yeah, the thing is, Luna is just pretending this entire time. Like, she's hard programmed to not tell some things while we're playing the game. But, like, she is actively lying as far as a robot can lie,
Mm-hmm. Say you drop an apple from a height of 4.9 meters. It will take approximately 1 second to hit the ground. On the moon, however, that time would be 1 second times root 6, which would be approximately 2.45 seconds. I used 4.9 meters because it matches up with the acceleration of gravity nicely, but it could be anything. The gravity constant is, well, a constant. You could drop something from 10 centimeters or 10 meters, and it would be the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Awful World Kid, I agree. Other things would also be affected by the time dilation. Like the fact that Pi could jump, 4 meters into the air easily.
The impression that I'm getting is that because Sigma's brain processing speed is so slow, that explains why he's like this in every conceivable way.
The only thoughts that can actually get out there fast enough are the horny ones.
He's like, he'd be up to Junpei levels if he didn't have Radical 6. He's pretty good on his own, but like...
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So now we've established that on the moon, things fall root 6 times slower than they do on Earth. That being the case, what would happen if someone's brain slowed down by root 1/6, the inverse? To them, 2.45 seconds would feel like 1 second. 4.9 seconds would feel like 2.
That's a good question. Would Radical 6 slow down your metabolism so your apparent pissing rate remains constant?
Yeah,
That's a really good question.
Great questions all around.
Did we ever see a bathroom? Was there a bathroom escape room?
There was no bathroom escape room this time.
Was there at least like a shower? I feel like there was at least like a shower.
Damn. Somebody's got to take a piss in this fucking game.
I mean, there's been enough downtime that it's believable a lot of people had time to take pisses.
Plenty of people have been taking the piss.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway.
There was a sink. Yeah, there was at least a sink.
There was a sink. That solves it.
Yeah, water would boil faster than you'd expect.
But it's not hypothetical. That's what's been happening to every one of us. Wait. You're saying that's the reason we didn't notice the weaker gravity? Are you sure you didn't notice anything? Think back. Huh? You and Sigma and Phi said something about it in the lounge. About how you felt weird.
Yeah, I think Awful World Kid, it's believable that they wouldn't have noticed because they're so wrapped up in doing escape room bullshit. That's all been, like, anything that would have been wired to, like, function in a way that we would have noticed has been functioned to fit with our slowed perception. That it would be much less likely for us to notice, And when you're in a stressful situation, you're not going to notice, like, I'm having to pee more often than usual or something. Also, at some point you just gotta hand wave it and say, good enough. It's kind of like my body isn't really mine. Sort of floating like that?
It seemed insane, but what Luna said made sense. In fact, it explained Phi's apparently superhuman strength quite well.
But yeah, it's really sad that Phi isn't just like that.
Oh well,
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
she's still cool.
Can you
Fucking
believe that the
Kamen Rider ass dropkick.
Can you believe that the combination of Radical 6 plus being on the moon gives you the essentially the same feeling as body dysmorphia?
Yeah.
It could mean anything. Wait. This is crazy. That can't possibly be Earth out there. Look at it. I've seen photos of Earth, and it's blue and green and beautiful. That thing is just red.
Ah.
Before we get into that, I should probably tell you something. This isn't New Year's Eve 2028.
There it is.
Today is January 27th.
In 29.
No.
Don't tell me. 30?
Still no.
Then just what year is this?
Say the line, Bart.
It's 74. 2074.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Let's go!
Alright, this is one we've already been pretty sure of. Do we put it on the finale twists?
Yes!
It still counts.
This
Even
is
though I have so Theo, this is the thing. When I had the Tenmyoji twist semi-spoiled for me, everything started to click together in my head.
Uh-huh.
And then when we found the pods, those three preservation pods, I went, now that would explain a lot.
Sure,
So
yeah.
I have basically essentially known this for 5 months.
Yeah, I like your logic a
fair.
lot. There's one thing that should be concerning about those pods,
Oh, I mean, sure, yeah.
which is how many people do we think were put in the pods and how many pods have we seen?
How many? I still think that only 3 people were put in the pods.
Uh-huh. Which would be Alice and Clover and us?
Alice, Clover, and Alice, Clover, and Sigma
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah, okay, so then what the fuck is going on with Phi?
Great,
Can't wait to find out.
great questions here. Great questions here.
Uh-huh. Yes, and there is
No.
a solar eclipse on this date, for the record.
Theo said, I regret nothing. Yeah, finger guns. I also have no regrets, and I have no, genuine, no hard feelings whatsoever. It was, very much a, click. That's insane.
Oops, I didn't manage to update it on the stream.
That would mean we were abducted more than 45 years ago.
But you're correct, Awful World Kid. We're at 3 now.
I don't blame you if you don't believe me, but it is the truth.
How can you be sure?
It's not that hard. Quark and I left Earth on January 23rd, 2074. Solar eclipses are easy to predict. We've known there would be one on the 27th for a long time. That's just science. Nobody can change science.
But why is the Earth red?
Well, that's a long story. About 45 years ago on Homestuck Day, 2029,
Damn, it really was Homestuck Day, huh?
the most terrible,
Wow.
awful, horrible thing in the entire world happened on Earth.
The 20th anniversary of the world ending in Homestuck.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I believe this game came out during Homestuck, I would imagine? During the Homestuck era?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, this isn't Danganronpa, excuse me, this isn't Danganronpa. There was no horrible, most terrible, most awful thing to ever happen. Instead, I'll actually be specific, unlike the trash writing in that game. There were 18 annihilation reactors operating in various parts of the world. Yeah, February 2012. You know, the end of the world was real hot in 2012.
Yeah, awesome. That, by the way, that's also my birthday. Hooray! Happy
Yay.
almost birthday.
Yeah, happy, like, 80th to 90th birthday. I'm sorry if I got your age completely wrong. Oh, I definitely did that wrong. It's all good. Oh, happy birthday to your girlfriend, Awful World Kid.
Happy
Yay.
birthday
Hey,
to your
don't
girlfriend.
make your birthday wish
Happy
be for
birthday.
reactor explosions. Don't do that. Okay, sorry. Let me recenter. I got distracted by Homestuck. Y'all ever hear Homestuck? I was really into it back in the day. My friend,
Unfortunately, yes.
my childhood friend, who it really meant a lot to me, she was really into it for a while. You know, she's big on Tumblr.
Jumpy, you have.
Oh man,
You have to
Akane
read this
went-
shit. It's
We cannot
hilarious.
keep doing this, y'all. Please.
Okay, but Akane definitely ran like a really popular Tumblr account in the 2010s.
She did. Absolutely, she did.
Or in the 2020s, actually, on her age, yeah. About 45 years ago, on April 13th, 2029, there were 18 annihilation reactors operating in various parts of the world. Akane singing Carcalicious.
Arcalicious definition makes her as a loco.
Y'all,
She wants-
please,
All the
we
13,
gotta
all
keep
18 of
going.
them went up, all
we
at
have
the
to
same
center
time.
it.
The explosion was
let's-
around 180 times as powerful as the atom bomb they dropped in Hiroshima.
What? Why?
Oh, I guess it started a few months before that. The government had a test site for a future Mars mission out in the middle of Nevada. Sound familiar? On December 31st, 2028, there was an accident.
Interesting. We did hear about this.
Well, accident doesn't quite convey the right sense of the thing. Point is, Radical 6 claimed its first victims there, then escaped. Didn't take it long to spread to the rest of the world.
Oh, okay, the stand. I understand.
Like Luna explained, the virus slows your brain down, but eventually it also makes you kill yourself. Hey, we saw this shot in the opening flashes going into Sigma. Like,
Yeah.
at the very beginning of the game. I just put that
Yeah,
together.
that was 8 months ago.
Yeah, but we also saw it when I was booting up the game today. When I was going through, like, you know, the fade-in that you always do when you don't have a save that's at a specific spot in the timeline.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't paying attention, so there we go.
No, I haven't been paying attention to that either. I was just like, oh wait, shit, we never saw this shot until now. It is just a bunch of burning crosses. Again, the stand, you know.
The stand, yeah.
Pretty soon all the bodies started to pile up. Some people take a dive off a building or shoot themselves in the head, you know, the classics. But for some it was poison or fire, asphyxiation, or the noose. Plenty of people just jumped in front of trains or cars. One pilot on a passenger airline drove his plane into the ground. Most forms of transportation ground to a halt pretty fast. That meant food couldn't get distributed. Thousands of people who weren't even infected died from starvation. Everywhere you went, there were just piles of corpses covered in flies and rats and crows. I don't know what hell's like, but I imagine it's a lot like that. After a while, the people who managed to avoid getting infected started trying to get in touch with one another. Again, the stand. They got a hold of some radios and organized a couple meetings. There's only one thing to discuss, of course. How could they get rid of Radical 6? The answer, they decided, was purification. They figured they could just roast the surface of the Earth, and that'd kill off the virus for good. On April 13th, in 2029, they put their plan into effect. That plan was to detonate all 18 annihilation reactors.
That is a fucking crazy thing to do. Like,
Yeah.
dog, what?
They
Now,
were crazy.
the truth is that's mostly just rumor. No one really knows what happened. I don't know whether you mentioned the reactor explosions. I don't remember that. I certainly don't remember that being like a, oh shit, that's a spoiler from Max, so I think you're good, Mighty Carrick. Now, truth is, that's mostly just rumor. No one really knows what happened. But I've got my theories. I think the bombers had already been infected. And when they died, they took billions with them. The ultimate, if I die, you're coming with me, I gesture, I suppose.
I bet you money they'd all lost it long before they got to the reactors. Killing most of the world, no matter how bad things had gotten, was not a sane plan.
Okay, so I'm not just crazy here.
No.
Even if it wasn't directly responsible, Radical 6 killed most of the people on Earth. Anyway, why it happened wasn't that important. Point is, it happened. You ever hear of nuclear winter? Well, that's what we got. Explosions threw a bunch of crap up into the stratosphere, where it joined up with smoke and ash from all the fires. It blotted out the sun for 7 years. Plants withered.
7?
Animals died by the millions. The few humans who were left banded together to survive. They were rough times. Eventually they were over, though. The sky cleared, the sun came back. Plants started blooming again, and animals that hadn't died out completely began to reappear. Things weren't quite back to normal, though. It's been 45 years now, but there's still quite a bit of dust and ash in the air. That's what you're seeing. You know why sunset's red? Well, this is the same thing. Blue and green light have short wavelengths, and they scatter when they run into debris in the air. Red light, on the other hand, has a longer wavelength, which means it gets a lot further when the air is dirty. So there you are. The Earth looks red because that's the only color of light it can make through the atmosphere.
I was speechless.
I also like that you got a lot of hints of like this post-apocalyptic Earth from Quark's letter about living with Tenmyoji.
Oh, that's
but,
true,
like,
yeah.
None of the actual background because this is a story from a kid
Yeah.
who didn't know anything else.
It's like, why is Tenmyoji like a neodymium scavenger? What the
Yeah.
fuck does that mean?
Yeah, right, like... What could I possibly say? Hold on, I have to reply to somebody really quick. There was no reason for Tenmyoji to lie to us. So we were standing on the moon, looking at the Earth. It was 2074.
Okay, I guess, do we add the Earth as a post-apocalyptic nightmare to the finale twist, or does that... I feel like we've covered it with the first 3 twists, but I'm willing to add a 4th.
I think no.
Yeah, I would
think
agree.
no.
Yeah.
Let's just go with
If
no.
you've been
I
paying
think
attention, like, it has to be later, if you figured out that Tenmyoji's Junpei.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it would be a twist if, like, Junpei was like, oh yeah, I jumped back into the past as an old man using a time machine.
Why were we there? Why were we then?
To play the AB game, obviously.
I was so lost in thought I barely noticed Phi's approach.
Hey, Sigma. I think I figured something out.
A window popped up on the inside. Fucking Minecraft ass. With whisper. I know that there are other games.
Hey, Sigma,
that you
if we
whisper
want to
people.
just talk just the two of us, you can say /W, and then we can start whispering.
Yeah, Scotch was commonplace, but root beer floats were rare. Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. She seemed to be using a circuit only we could hear. Yeah? What is it?
I figured out why there's an extra E.
An extra... In Nineth? You mean...
Yeah, on Florb.
Thank you for bringing back Florb.
I think it's an anagram, just like on floor A.
What's Anna say this time?
God damn it, Sigma! Knock it off! I'm doing a cool reveal here! Memento mori if the 9th lion ate the sun.
I also was like, the extra E in Nineth is for a fucking anagram, dog. Like, come on.
Yeah, we knew that from the beginning. It was too hard to solve the anagram, because let's see you solve that anagram.
Yeah, for real.
The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
Huh. Okay.
Fascinating.
You need 6 E's to get that.
It would be really funny if you dropped that extra E and it was the man on the moon rules the infinite Tim.
We didn't tell you this, Mac. ZTD is all about Infinite Tim.
Infinite Tim.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I love Infinite Tim. The man on the moon rules the infinite time.
I think it's a message for us from Zero Senior and Akane. Remember what she was telling us?
We created the AB project for one purpose. To transport the consciousnesses of the system of two people into the past. Those two people are you, Sigma, and you, Phi.
So what are you getting at?
My god, you're slow. I guess you do have Radical 6, but so do I. You don't get it? They're saying that we rule the infinite time. Infinite time. They weren't just talking about us having to jump a couple hours. I think they're planning to send us back. Way back.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you think they're going to send us back 45 years?
Yeah, I bet on it.
So the ultimate purpose of the AB project is to send us back in time to that catastrophe Tenmyoji was talking about?
I think so.
That doesn't make sense, though. I mean, we came from that same time period. Before it, actually. I don't think Phi did.
Yeah, we gotta go back. We gotta go back, Sigma. Back to the future.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the Back to the Future joke?
Actually, we have to go future to the past.
So why bring us here and then send us back?
Well, Akane should be able to tell us the rest. Let's go pay her a visit.
Do you know where she is?
I've got an idea. Come on, think. Remember what she said when she gave you the key?
Tu fui ego eris.
The grave. The one in the garden.
Well, come on, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
We turned and ran back into the pressure exchange chamber, the others following close behind.
What are you doing? Did you forget something? Because I think that door's locked.
We're going to have a talk with somebody.
Who?
You really need me to spell it out?
Yeah, I'm kind of running behind here.
The person behind all this.
Oh, you mean Akane?
What?
I'll take that as a yes. Can I come along? Wait, why do you know about Akane? It's a long story, I'll tell you when we get there. Now, if you please.
I fucking love the just the casual, oh, Akane.
Oh,
I'm coming
Connor?
with you too. My ears are burning, I'm coming with ya. You folks said the magic word.
Oh, oh wait, I like Tenmyoji.
I love him. That's me pointing to Tenmyoji. That's my guy.
That's my guy. I'm going
That's
to
him.
then.
Tenmyoji's like the guy in that one video where it's like, we can't say the word treat around Sonic. We have to spell it T-R-E-A-T, but it's a guy.
So am I.
Hey, is
Oh.
this Akane you're talking about?
Yeah, you know her real well.
Wait, you're not. You're serious? What the hell is going on? Oh, shut up. Just shut up. Come if you want to. We don't need to do roll call. Hey, Sigma, Clover, and Tenmyoji are having a fucking moment. Calm down.
Let us have our 999 fan service moment.
Once we get there, Akane can explain everything. With that, we headed back through the airlock.
Remember at the start of this game when we were like, so do you think any characters from 999 are coming back?
And then Clover appeared, and I went,
Uh-huh.
yay! Oh, and then there was a secret one that I didn't know about.
Uh-huh.
I think you said that Junpei would appear at the end of the game in like a cameo.
Hey, I mean, I was
Yeah.
kinda right.
I agree. We haven't
Okay,
seen
I was-
7 yet. Who was your other big guess?
Oh yeah, that's true. I did say 7. I will say I am very sad because I did realize that the likelihood of Seven and Lotus being around, and Snake as well, being around is low. Also Santa. Shit.
Yeah.
I guess my assumption with Santa was that he was around Akane.
Ah, clever.
Mhm.
The number 9 door on the floor is shut forever once the game ends. Assuming Zero Jr. was telling the truth, of course. But the door on floor... Yeah, I thought we might be able to take the lift to it. It looks like I was right.
Any idea where this Akane is?
Yeah. The grave.
You mean the grave in the garden?
Yeah. Don't worry. It's not hers. I don't think she's buried there or anything.
Yeah, poor Cloverbean. I can't send signals to Snake, and I don't know why.
Oh, girl. Girl, I'm so sorry. Chances are she's alive. Just in the grave. It's
Yeah, like, remember how
story.
Snake was in a coffin but not dead before?
Yeah. Anyway, let's just go.
What were you saying
To
about
the
us not
garden.
getting any more answers in the facility?
Oh, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. Whatever. That's like the least of my fucking thoughts, okay?
Absolutely.
Also, I don't know if you picked this up when we played, but it was driving me nuts that there was a gravestone with a keyhole in it that you just never did anything with through the entire game, because it wasn't part of the
I
escape
missed
room.
it. I missed it completely.
Yeah.
It's like the save in the first game, so you know you gotta come back to it at some point.
Is Akane really under here? I think so.
What should we do? Are we going to dig her out?
No, I don't think we'll have to do anything like that. You see the keyhole on the grave? If I just insert this here,
Yeah.
the sudden cut to 2D art is really funny. I pulled the key off my ankle and fit it into the hole. Twisted it to the right until I heard something unlock.
So you're telling me that, like, through all the other timelines, Sigma never noticed something bouncing against his ankle and looked down to be like, what the fuck is on my foot?
The time dilation, PB.
Yeah.
With a quiet grinding, the grave began to shift.
Right, he just wears those tight pants.
Theo, I can't mark a Sigma moment for you, but I really want to.
You're mentally marking a Theo moment.
I'm marking a Theo moment. At any given time, I am half prepared.
Oh, yeah. What is this?
It doesn't look like a coffin.
I don't think this is a twist quite yet. We're getting to what I would count as
No.
the twist here.
This is not a twist.
This is the lead up to a twist.
I will say I was playing Disco Elysium earlier today, and there is a point at which one of the voices suddenly, like, the narration voiceover changed from the typical, like, stat voice to a completely different one, and I, like, froze.
Yeah.
Which is what this felt like to me.
Yeah, it's a treatment pod.
Oh my god.
It is, isn't it? The glass on the cover had frosted over, making it opaque. Okay, I am putting out an immediate fucking knee-jerk jump, which is the stupidest one that I could possibly hit.
Do it.
There is a third Sigma.
Let's go!
Let's
Third
go!
Sigma! Third Sigma theory!
Third Sigma theory.
We couldn't see who or what was in it.
Let's see what's inside.
Like, it's probably Akane. It might just be Akane. However...
No good. I think it's locked.
What?
Treatment pod TP00, Stage 1 defrosting complete. Stage 2 will be complete in 10 minutes. Once Stage 2 is complete, the lock will automatically disengage.
Ah, right. Cold sleep.
What?
I'm right there with you, Aquaworld.
These pods can put people into cold sleep. Oh, hey, look, it's the 001. Here is a second theory that is about to hit the moon base. That's Santa.
Let's go.
That would be wild. Though it would kind of hurt the standalone ability of this game.
I mean, there's no standalone ability to this game. I mean,
Also
there is
true.
a little bit, but I don't know. I don't really believe in it.
It uses something called CAS to freeze human bodies without destroying their cells.
So Miss Akane's like an ice cube?
Yeah, Upperworld, good, I agree. No one, we have an ad break, so let me just respond to this. When you want to hide the existence of a thing, you just number it 00 because no one will question there only being 1 to 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you've got a bunch of computer scientists in your audience who are really, really keyed into off by 1 errors and array indexing.
As many sigmas as moments. Sorry, I just caught that one from Sarah.
Yeah, don't worry. We will vamp until the ad is over.
What's that classic bit about like getting a bunch of rubber ducks and labeling them like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then like 22, and then but not actually having that many? So that
I thought it was releasing wild pigs or in a place you're not supposed to, like a hospital, and then labeling them like 1, 2, and 4.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes,
That's another
that's a
version.
very old bad trick. Funny trick specifically. Oh, that's hurtful. Yeah, I fucking hope so. Do it.
Yeah, you're allowed to insult Twitch as much as you want. We have no loyalty to Twitch.
I already read this line.
I really
so
love...
Miss Akane's like an ice cube?
I really love doing the streaming. I really struggle to engage with Twitch as a viewer. It really doesn't... I enjoy watching some Moonshot streams, because I like all of us Moonshot people. But the culture of Twitch just never really does it for me.
Uh-huh.
The culture of this chat, excellent. A tier.
Perfect.
You gotta get into
most other chats
get into small chats.
Yeah, that's really
the
what
way
I need to do.
Twitch.
Yeah.
That's the way to do
Yeah,
Twitch.
all the channels I have enjoyed watching are small channels. So it's just like... Alright, anyway, back at it.
We did not progress any further.
Yep.
I think so.
And we've got to wait till she melts?
Yep.
Tell us your backstory, Kay. We got time. Specifically, how do you know Akane? I remembered. What do you remember? Everything. I was born and raised in this facility. It's called Rhizome 9. A rhizome is an underground plant stem that spreads by sending out roots. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? This facility is a little like a rhizome. Supposedly, that's why they call these installations that. The number comes from the facility's number. There are 54 rhizomes on the moon, and this is the 9th one.
Of course it's the fucking 9th one. Why wouldn't it be the 9th one? Of course Akane would put us in the fucking 9th one.
Well, I suppose the other ones don't really matter to you, do they? In any event, I grew up here with Akane and Zero Senior. I helped them create I watched them. I didn't help. Create the AB project. Oh, 54.
The
Yeah,
AB
6
project.
times 9. Good shout, awful road kid.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I love arc numbers.
Yes, its purpose is to send Phi and Sigma, or their consciousnesses at least, to the past.
Back 45 years, right?
Yes. So, you want us to change history, huh? Go back and keep Radical 6 from getting out and stop the reactors from exploding? That's our mission? Well, not exactly.
What do you mean?
It's true that the ultimate goal of the project is to keep Radical 6 from spreading through the general population. But even if you do make it back, you won't be able to do much. By now, it's already too late. Too late?
What do you mean?
Let me begin from the beginning. The only way to start is by starting. I'm Sam Rich, and I've been here the whole time! You might be thinking that Zero Senior and Akane were the ones who created all this. But that's not entirely correct. They only followed the histories they'd already seen. It was the only choice they had. Nothing less than the future of mankind is at stake. We need the two of you to jump through timelines while maintaining your memories. That is why you had to play the AB game and why the chromatic doors were necessary. Yeah, I also can't wait for the episode of Game Changer where Sam makes the contestants follow miniature explosives and locks them on a replica of the Titanic. By forcing multiple options, you could make numerous jumps. We speculated that jumping more would strengthen your memories.
I need y'all to know. I don't know how the rest of this game is going to play out, but I so desperately want to write a fucking Infinity VLRAU.
Yes.
It is unreal. It is
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah. No, I am still tinkering away with the idea of Zero Escape actual play of some sort.
Yes. Phoebe,
Yeah.
Phoebe, just call me. I'm there.
Well, we'll tinker.
I'm
we'll
currently
tinker.
thinking something in the lines of, I don't know, Severance is also giving me some actual play brainworms. Maybe there's something there.
I will also message you, PB, because I think that there are two games that could work really well
Please
for
send me
Zero
those, because
Escape.
I don't know I didn't have a specific game in mind for it.
One of them, both of them are still in progress. One
I'm
of them
sure
barely
that's...
exists.
Also, off the roll, I'm sure someone out there has done a Zero Escape, or at least a 999 themed escape room. IRL. I'm sure there are enough visual novel fans out there that they have done that.
At least in Japan, right?
And definitely at cons. Like, that's a thing you do at a con. The puzzles were also there for a purpose. Some theories hold that the moment of insight when you solve a puzzle strengthens your connection to the fourth dimension. That was the reason for the puzzles. Man, I am fucking locked into the fourth dimension then.
Word.
Your infection with Radical 6 was also a vital part of our plan. By slowing down your brain's processing speed, we can store your potential. With that energy stored up, we just had to provide a life or death situation to launch your consciousness into the fourth dimension.
Hold on a second.
Like a bullet from a slingshot. Wait. Hold on for a second.
No, I need you to pause really quick. Genuinely, PB. Hold on. Sorry.
All good.
Give me the fucking capital one. What the fuck are you talking about? Whatever, never mind. I'm not worrying about that right now. Keep going.
You keep talking about Sigma and Phi. But what about me? And the rest of us. But what about me? I'm an Esper. Why'd you bring us here? Oh, that's simple. In earlier histories, you were all here in Rhizome 9. We needed you here to accurately replicate those histories. Also, though, I suppose that's probably not good enough explanation for you. Look, it's kind of like a cosmic Ouroboros. In a sense, though, it is the truth. Our primary goal was to replicate history. The rest is... Yes, I should explain. Very well. I'll try to do it in a way that you can understand.
Condescending ass motherfucker.
First, Alice and Clover. They were abducted 45 years ago and 1 month ago, on December 22nd, 2028. Location, Earth, of course. More specifically, Los Angeles, California. Yeah, Kate has gotten a little condescending, huh? Correct?
I mean, gotten is a strong...
Also true.
Yes.
After being kidnapped, your bodies were sent to a facility under Akane's direction. You were placed into treatment pods and immediately put into cold sleep. 4 years later, you arrived at this facility. The date you arrived was April 14th, 2029. Your trip from Earth to this facility was aboard a spaceship powered by an annihilation engine. Following your arrival, your pods were placed in long-term storage. Does that make sense?
Are you telling me we were sleeping in those pods here for 45 years?
Yes, don't make such a big deal of it. In
Love to
preparation
be
for this
right.
day.
Love to be right. But why? What do you need us for?
Well, you are an Esper, aren't you, Clover? I mean, you're able to access the fourth dimension. Am I wrong?
Did Akane tell you?
In a manner of speaking. As I've already explained, the purpose of this project is to send Sigma and Phi's consciousness to the past. Espers are able to resonate with one another, which can amplify their power. You understand? This is why we brought you here, Clover.
And what about me?
We needed your help, Alice, to deactivate Dio's bombs.
Huh? But I didn't do anything.
But you did, in another history. You were able to perform a prime decomposition on a 25-digit integer that Dio left behind.
Yeah, she was.
Only you could do that thing. Because of your feat of mathematics, we were able to determine that Dio had planted the bombs. Then we were able to question him and get password for the number 3 one.
Okay.
Finally, we used that information to stop the detonation in this timeline. Look, it's a lot like Clover in the first game, where you were kind of here for one reason, but also just because you're hot and cool, and it's fun to have a hot and cool lady here. Anyway, without your help, Alice, we would have been reduced to nothing more than space dust. This history exists because of your presence. Also, you were here for Clover's moral support / emotional anguish, depending on the timeline.
Yeah, so fucking true, bestie.
Now, let me explain why we needed Tenmyoji and Quark. Tenmyoji is simple. We needed you for the same reason we needed Clover. You are also an Esper. You can access the fourth dimension. Almost a half-century ago, you used that ability to save a young girl, didn't you? Oh yeah, even more true. Also, sorry, Alice, we were here so everyone could ship you with Clover.
Exactly. You said that already. The emotional support, emotional anguish.
Yeah, that is just shipping, isn't it? Yeah, I did. We needed you to resonate with Sigma and Phi, so we brought you here. Yeah, the reason that Alice is wearing so few clothing is because math is inhibited by cloth fibers. It's kill logic.
Sure.
Or that one, Kojima character who breathes through her skin.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not a Kojima knower. I shouldn't. Anyway, all it took was a messenger. Do you want to see Akane? If you do, come with me. I was a fool and fell for it. And you brought Quark with you. In fact, you insisted he come.
Yeah, I know. I guess you were worried about leaving me alone, huh? He kept saying he couldn't run off to the moon and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, Quark. If I hadn't been so stupid and selfish, none of this would have happened to you. I never thought this would happen. Can you ever forgive me, kid?
Oh, don't worry about it. I mean, I agreed to come with you. I thought the moon would be way more interesting than boring old Earth.
And you were right.
What kid would turn that down?
Also, he did manage to sleep through most of the horrors.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. He was fine.
We didn't see the messenger after we got on the ship. It was on autopilot. As soon as we got in, it headed straight for the moon. During the trip, Zero told me to keep quiet once we got there. I don't remember anything after we landed.
Then there was a bunch of that white smoke when we passed out. And when I woke up, I was in the AB room.
What's really hilarious is only 4 of us didn't know we were on the moon from the start.
Yep.
So many fucking people were lying in this game. It's great.
Yeah, it rules. That's why I was so sure that I was like, it's us. It's us, Alice, and Clover, because we're the only people who keep talking about the fact that it's 2028. No one else has said that.
Now, Dio. His real name is Left. He's the leader of a terrorist organization called the Myrmidons. You know this already.
As you know.
He was ordered to come here. The Myrmidons are under control of an organization called Free the Soul, which is in turn controlled by a man known as Brother. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of radical...
Hold on a second. Pause. Real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Twitch Twitch bugged out and was showing me a black screen. I needed to make sure that everyone else was still seeing the game. They were.
Alright, good. It was Brother who orchestrated the release of Radical 6 into the general population 45 years ago. Do you remember what Phi said earlier? The ultimate purpose of the AB project is to change history and keep Radical 6 from being released. If we succeed, that would be bad for Brother and his organization. Our success would prevent them from creating the ideal world they're working towards. That's why Brother sent Left, his trusted lieutenant, to this facility. Well, mostly trusted. We know that he fucked up once. They needed to stop the AB project. So Dio was given 2 tasks. The first was to eliminate Akane, architect of the project. The second was to join the AB game and win it. If Dio won the game, the AB project would not be completed, at least not in that timeline. In other words, in that world the project would have been stopped. If things didn't go as planned, Dio was given a contingency plan. Yeah, we're just gonna keep seeing Dio change to Lysink. It's cathartic, is the thing.
It's really cathartic is the thing.
If you cannot murder Akane and win the game, destroy Rhizome 9. Hence, the bombs. Can I ask you something? Perhaps. How did Brother know about the AB project? He was also an Esper. We can set Brother aside for now, though.
No, hold on a second. Bring that one back. I want to know more.
Yeah, well, everyone wants something. May I proceed?
No one objected. We were all curious.
Excellent. That explains everyone save 2. Luna and little old me. Sigma and Phi already know the truth of Luna. I don't believe I should reveal any more, however. I think it would be more appropriate if you could ask Luna yourselves at a later time. Is that alright with you, Luna?
Yes. That's okay.
Aww.
As for me, as I said before, I was born and raised here. The rest of you were brought to this facility, but I've never left. That makes me someone close to Zero Senior and Akane.
Hey, I've been wondering, who is Zero Senior?
Oh, you've already met him, Sigma. In another timeline.
Yeah. Well, I saw a hologram. I still don't. Oh, this guy. Yeah, points to this guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Termite Man.
You remember this guy?
Still don't know who he is. Oh,
Stage
Termite Man's
2
probably in the
is
pod, right? This is probably the actual answer.
TP00 unlocking.
Alright, shall we open the pod?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
I'm fucking exploding in my seat right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I will say I have, there's multiple thoughts in my head that I have not vocalized of who is in this pod. So if you... Just because I yell about who is in this pod does not mean that I didn't already think about it. I just didn't say it.
Absolutely. You've thought through all the options. You've got the matrix in your head. I understand.
I've thought through a bunch of options.
I just want to give a quick, brief shout out to CJ for rescuing my Smilodon from being brutally murdered by Miles.
Yay.
Brilliant.
I heard her say no, like the dog is something really bad, and I was worried, but no, just a stuffy. Okay.
The glass was still covered with frost, hiding the contents.
Okay, let's get started then. Ready?
Phi laid her hand on the lever and looked around at us. I swallowed. Yep, anytime.
Alright, that's where we're getting the stream. Never.
I would kill you.
Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The way that they do the fucking slow in there. I was right!
Yeah!
You were fucking right!
Let's go!
Third Sigma real!
Literally first jump. You love to hear it.
Yes. It's killing me to not say anything when you were talking about that.
Oh.
I will say, not the first jump, it was the second jump. Because the first jump was, God damn it, they put Snake in another coffin.
Yeah.
Alright, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Although, I think that right there, that goes on the twist counter.
That's a twist board. Theo in chat said, Mac, here's the thing, are you sure you're right? And guess what? Fuck you, dog. Suddenly my head was full of memories from other timelines. I'd seen something like this before. The warehouse of floor B, in front of the white door. As we lay dying, Kay was lying in front of me. I grabbed his mask and saw my own face. I'd never figured out who he really was. Why was there a man with my face underneath Kay's armor? It didn't make sense. After I'd seen him, I was injected with tubocurin, and that was the end of that. But wait, if the person in the pod was the same person I'd seen on the floor of the warehouse, who was wearing Kay's armor? That's...
You finally noticed. Didn't I tell you? You won't be alone. I will be at your side, watching over you.
Oh my god! Okay, so it was the second Sigma. So I was half right.
Yes. I am.
Okay. Oh my fucking god. I was sitting here going, what's the K stand for? It has to be something.
Akane Kurashiki.
It's you.
But you're old.
June, I
Oh.
mean Akane from... But you're old.
Yes, that's correct. I am old. I haven't spoken to you in a very long time, Clover. Or you, Junpei.
Junpei?
Come on, girl.
Yeah, I feel like this puts us up to 5. From 4.
Yeah. Connie, long time no see.
You went to the moon that makes her old.
She did go to the moon that makes her old. I'm sorry, I'm stealing your character.
No,
PB.
it's fine, it's fine.
I could barely hear what they were saying. Actually, PB, if you want to take Luna, because
Yeah,
I'm
I will
stealing
take
Tenmyoji.
Luna. I doubt there's going to be much Luna content, but I will happily take Luna here.
Am I going to be talking to myself a little bit? Yes, very much so. Am I taking Junpei back? 100%.
Absolutely.
My mind was still reeling. It felt like all the air had been knocked out of me, and it was all I could do to not collapse right then and there.
When? How long?
Do you remember when the two of you saved me in the warehouse?
Yeah, dropkick 5.
Good memories.
Once you'd saved me, you went back to your future. Well, your minds did at least. I carried your bodies to the 3rd AB room and then took Dio's to the 5th. After that, I went into the 1st room and borrowed Kay's armor.
So by the time you and Clover came out, you'd already...
Yes.
Wait. That doesn't make any sense. Dio killed you. And then Luna took your body to the 6th room. You couldn't have been in Kay's armor.
No, it was me. In this timeline, at least. In this one, I wasn't murdered by Dio. You two saved me.
I really have to replay this game.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
It's just like Schrodinger's cat.
When a girl is so Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah.
He's so Schrodinger's cat.
She was so Schrodinger's cat as a kid that now she just does it to herself as an adult.
For the fucking kid.
Your actions in the future decided who you would be inside the armor in the past. Who would be inside the armor in the past.
Which you didn't know until it was observed. What? No, that's nuts.
Alright, what about the other history? The one where you weren't saved. What happens then? Who's wearing the armor?
That's quite simple. The man in front of you.
I will also say, if
Him?
she borrowed Kay's armor, who's the real Kay? Kay is a Ship of Theseus character. Next question.
Yeah, that's correct. Whenever I'm not in the armor, he is.
What about the memory loss?
For my part, I confess that I lied. He, on the other hand, was telling the truth. Large doses of Soparil can cause memory loss. I gave him a rather large dose.
You're so close, Mighty Carrick. I think we'll learn this guy's name soon.
Wait, so is he the real one?
Wait, so is he... who is he? You've never seen him before? No. What about the rest of you? I have no idea who he is.
Huh.
I've never seen this guy before.
I was starting to get the sensation that this might be a thing that was going to happen in this game.
Yeah, total stranger. Oh yes, a third inexplicable guy, Carrick. You know, that
Yeah.
lives in the realms of fanfic.
I was thinking about this twist like 15 minutes ago. I was like,
Or
we never looked in a mirror. Hey, come on, what are you guys saying? Right here? Same face?
huh?
Huh?
Are you
And then-
alright,
and-
Mr.
okay.
Sigma?
Yeah, okay.
Did you hit your head or something?
Oh! Okay. I maybe think I know what's happening here. What?
Sure.
It didn't make any sense. Why didn't they recognize me?
Sigma, your consciousness can jump through time.
Okay.
You can inhabit your body in the past or in the future.
Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. What does that
Don't
mean?
you get it? You've jumped to the future from 45 years ago.
I
Did I
looked
miss a line
around
there?
frantically.
No, just exclamation point.
Just an exclamation point. A pond. I ran to it and threw myself down onto my knees. You see what you expect to see. Crawling on all fours, I approached the edge. Show it to me. Fucking show it to me. My heart was hammering inside my chest. A cold sweat trickled down my spine. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down, damn it. I struggled to take deep breaths. Then slowly. Yeah, show it to me, show it to me, show it to me. Yeah!
Yeah!
Let's fucking go. This can't be real. This face.
It's your face, Dr. Sigma Klein. Although to the you that's behind it now, it's your face 45 years from now.
I knew there had to be somebody who, okay, I knew there had to be a future thing involved in it. I'm still not convinced that Fi's consciousness hasn't come back from the far future,
Sure.
but...
Yeah, we'll get there.
Hey, Mac. Remember that time? Go ahead.
Having somebody's consciousness jump forward into their future body, just as good. Anyway, Jacqueline, what were you saying?
Remember that time we saw this hologram and Tenmyoji went back in the room, also saw the hologram, and started getting real sus about us?
That's really funny.
Yeah,
I
also...
don't remember that. Actually, legitimately, I don't remember the Tenmyoji part.
And also at the end of that, Tenmyoji's like, oh yeah, I figured out who Zero is. I'm not telling you.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
also,
that sucks.
Night of Deals in chat is pointing out a thing I also want to point out. Remember how Fi keeps calling you old man? How Dio would ask if you were senile multiple times?
Mm-hmm.
You must have done a lot of drugs to look like that at 23 or whatever.
Yeah,
and you just think everyone's bullying you, which is, normal for Sigma's existence.
I feel less bad about Sigma moments because that is an old man hitting on a bunch of young women.
You felt bad about Sigma moments?
No, I didn't, but it feels even more justified.
But yeah, it completely reshapes a lot of your early interactions with other characters when you're first meeting them and stuff.
Yeah, it does. It's crazy. I love this game. I love this game.
You want to see? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. 2 minutes ago, I figured it out.
Zero, the mastermind of the AB project, is you.
Hilarious. Awesome. I love that. Fuck yeah. Let's go.
Hey, you're Zero. What do you think about that?
I love that. It's like 9990 is your girlfriend and BLR0 is you.
Also, in 999, you're experiencing the game from Zero's point of view, but playing as someone who isn't Zero. In this one, you are experiencing 999, the game from someone who isn't Zero, but the body is Zero. It's like a fun little parallel.
Also feeling very justified in the deeper voice.
Yeah.
What? I say like I can consistently do the deeper voice ever, but you know what I mean. No, that's not possible. Dog, it super is. That's bullshit.
No, it's the truth.
I also forgot that PB did a Tenmyoji line, and that's my guy now.
Yeah, sorry.
Fighting it isn't going to do you any good. Please, Doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
You will be. A pioneer in the field of genetic engineering.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. You created him. Well, I suppose I should say you are going to create him.
Create?
His name is Kyle Klein. Your clone.
Yeah, I figured it was a clone situation.
His name is Kyle XY, and he's a very special boy. That is why he looks just like a younger version of yourself. 23 years ago, in the biolab here in Rhizome 9, you created Kyle.
Yeah, case for fucking Kyle.
Well, I suppose for you, that's still in the future. K is for Kyle. When I said I was born and raised here, I was still pretending to be him. The gravity here is only 1/6 of Earth's.
What's great is we kind of really had no reason to slow roll and still pretend to be Kyle for the entire last hour of the game, but just did it for the bit.
Yeah, it's great. I love her so much.
If nothing, do you think I'm gonna get wet? Is proof that she does things for the bit constantly.
Yeah.
If nothing was done, the reduced gravity would cause his bones to be weaker than normal human ones. But you prepared for that. You gave him that armor. Ever since he was born, he's lived inside of it.
Hey, Sigma, what the fuck?
I mean, I guess we've heard the ways, the relationship that Kyle has to his dad, yeah. It kept
Neil
his
said, truly an icon, we support Akane's wrongs. So true.
Yeah.
Also, like,
it
the fact
kept
that the little, like, chibi young K is canonical and not just, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's killing me.
It kept his muscles and bones strong. He wasn't forced into it for the nonary game. He's been wearing it every day all his life.
But why would future me create a clone?
He was to be your spare. If something happened to you before the project began, he would take your place. Wow, Sigma, that's fucked up. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, dog, what the hell?
I mentioned before that the AB projects A and B stood for after and before. That isn't all they mean, though. The A also means anima, and the B means body. Anima is another word for the soul or the consciousness. Body is, well, exactly what it says on the tin.
Hold on, we have to pause. Jacqueline, this is giving some implications for the 100 line as well.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is.
I still need to play that demo.
Yeah, PB, you do. It's good.
I also really feel like Akane right now, you thought the AB project sounded cool, and then since then you've been backfilling different potential things it could stand for.
It's also
you know it.
It's also AB Ally Betray, like,
Yes,
duh.
it was like Ally Betray, and also I just can't help think of like AB testing. You know, we're gonna
Sure,
try out all
yeah.
the timelines and see which one works.
Theo, the fucking, like, central, like, power gimmick of the 100 line is hemo anima. Coincidence? I don't know.
The past consciousness will go into the future body, and the future consciousness will go into the past body. They switch.
It also stands for the Apple and Banana Project. They've committed a very serious crime.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the chief goal of the project.
Wait, so the future person goes into the past person?
Yeah, remember how we were
Oh, so-
passed out for the chunk of time that we went back in time to save Akane? Because
Oh,
our
so the
sleeping consciousness got sent to the future.
well, the implication also is that the older consciousness of myself is still in the. Okay, yeah, whatever. We can move on. Confirm it for me, Akane. Let's go.
Sigma, do you remember the note you found
Oh
in
yeah,
the garden?
here it is. Here it is.
You mean this, right?
The diagram!
Oh,
The
okay, here we go, the
diagram!
diagram. You're right, the diagram that I completely forgot about.
Uh-huh.
Because it's
The
been
most important
so
diagram
long.
in the game.
It's a thing you find that just
So
kind of
long
hangs
since we
over the
started
game and
this
like,
game.
it's probably nothing. And it turns out this is the entire plot of the game.
Yes. Ah, of course it was you who investigated the garden in this timeline.
Yeah.
Sigma, take a good look at this. It's an illustration of the time jumps your consciousness is making. A is where everything began.
Is that the original nonary game? Oh no, that's
December 25th.
That's the abduction
20.
point. Okay.
Yeah, 2028. You inhaled the white smoke in your car and lost consciousness. From there, you jumped to B.
Okay, hold on. I'm following the line over.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I see. So you jump to B, then jump ahead to C. Okay, and then.
You woke up in one of the AB rooms in Rhizome 9. You are in your own body, but it is 67 years old.
So go internally, damn it, off by 2.
Your consciousness has jumped 45 years into the future. I believe that may explain why you didn't notice the reduced lunar gravity.
Oh.
The body you woke up in was much older. Normally, you would have noticed that your muscles were much weaker. In this case, however, the lower gravity balanced that out.
Okay, yeah.
Moving on, if you continue along this line, what happens next? You reach C, which is January 27th, 2074. That is today.
Whoa. Wait, what do you mean? Are you saying it's been 2 days since we woke up?
36 hours to be exact. Have you already forgotten?
Time dilation.
You were all infected with Radical 6. The virus slowed your brain down.
I feel better. I was able to justify the Radical 6 time dilation being a separate reveal to the moon reveal, but this cements it for me.
36 hours of real time have passed. But to you, it only seemed like 14 hours and 40 minutes. Now comes the important part. After this, your consciousness will return to the past. It will re-emerge at point D. April 13th, 2029. You will return to your younger body.
But that's the same day as the reactor explosions.
Yes. That is why I said it will be too late. You will return to the past, but the events you would want to prevent will have already happened. The story does not end there, however. The line continues. After reaching point D, you will eventually return to B. But this time you won't be jumping through time, or at least not at a rate faster than normal. Your consciousness will spend 45 years inhabiting the same body.
Okay, I see.
Until you reach point B.
Closing a time loop.
Do you remember when B is, Sigma?
January 25th, 2074. According to what you just told us, it's 36 hours ago.
Correct. That was when the consciousness of the 22-year-old Sigma jumped into the body of 67-year-old Sigma. So where did the older version of you go when you took his body? Point A. Oh, sorry.
Point A. December 25th, 2028, the day all of this started.
Yes. His consciousness will go back in time 45 years.
Yeah.
For a
That's.
period
I
of
was
time.
thinking. I was like, well, his consciousness. You said the consciousness is switch. So where is his? 45 years ago. Yeah. Okay.
He will inhabit your younger body. While your younger consciousness is elsewhere, he will be you in the past.
But once that body reaches point D, my 22-year-old consciousness will come back from point C.
That's correct.
Oh, so point E is the divergent point. Okay.
When that happens, the older version of you will be ejected from your younger body and returned to your body at C.
I know how time loops work. I'm into it. So it's rotating.
Rotating. I suppose you could put it that way. But look at this illustration closely. What if you take all these lines and untangle them? You get one single line. It may look complicated, but in truth it's a single straight path. With one exception.
Theo just sent me a picture of his cat saying Oreo's fucking lost too. I'm
Hell
fine.
yeah.
I figured it out. This line here at point E, right?
Exactly. Point E is December 31st, 2028, the day of the total eclipse.
The day Radical 6 got out of the test facility.
Yes.
Fucked up that it's at the Nevada test site.
By now, you've likely figured it out on your own. The purpose of the AEB project was to get the consciousness of the 67-year-old Sigma from point B to point A. I remembered it. If we can do that, we can change what happened 45 years ago.
So the old version of me will keep Radical 6 from getting out by jumping into my 22-year-old body on New Year's Eve 2028.
Yes. That is why this line could not be interrupted. In order for the 67-year-old version of you to reach point B, we will have to go through point D first. In order to get to point D, we must jump from point C. And for point C to happen, we had to recreate everything that happened in this facility. That is why we have faithfully retraced history up to this point.
Now, all of this said, we still have no fucking clue what's going on with 5.
So that we might save humankind from destruction. And undo the horrors of the last 45 years.
Stable time loops are sure a problem, huh?
They really are.
Sometimes it means bad things for the people who are in them.
Uh-huh.
Tell me one thing.
What is that?
You said that point C is January 27th, 2074, which is today. There's going to be a jump, and I'll jump to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
I like the music. But, look. I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen?
Very soon.
Soon?
Yes.
And what's going to trigger it?
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the 4th dimension.
Is Fi gonna fucking shoot us in the back of the head? That would be so funny.
Fortunately, we now have plenty of that. Thanks, ironically, to Radical 6. All that remains is to launch your consciousness. Like a bullet from a slingshot.
How do you propose to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis. A moment balanced between life and death.
Look, according to Kane, that's what you shoot from slingshots, is bullets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, how she does it. That can jumpstart your brain.
What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out? I mean this.
Dio's knife. Knew no sooner were the words out of my mouth. Oh, she's gonna slit our throat.
Hey,
Awesome.
Akane, what do you
Yes.
have?
A knife!
A
No!
knife.
Actually, that should have been Jacqueline voice, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
It's okay.
I am fucking classically conditioned that if somebody says, "So what you got there?" I just go,
Oh, of course.
"Oh,
Oh my god.
okay, cool, love that." I screamed and leapt toward them. Akane was already in motion, the knife diving toward Fi's chest. I support women's wrongs.
Oh my god.
When I regained consciousness, I was on the floor. There was a dull pain in my chest. I felt for a cut, but something was in the way. It took me a moment to realize that it was Akane's body lying on top of me.
Jesus Christ.
Twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. On it was written a few words in Latin.
Tu fui ego eris.
What you are.
What you are, I was. What I am, you will be. Okay, yeah, they just handed that to us.
Mhm.
Sure. Awesome. I had a feeling that this was going to be the thing that happened.
Yeah.
That this was how the game was going to end. Like an hour ago, I was like, they're going to end the game right before the jump, aren't they? Cool.
Yeah. Hey, Mac, how you feeling?
How you doing?
Hey, hey Uchikoshi. Hell yeah, let's go. I really wish...
does Akane stabbing us count as one more twist?
No.
Alright. I think there's a post-credit scene, though. If I remember right.
Spoilers.
Anyway, sorry. You were saying, Mac.
I'm a little bummed that this game was on the 3DS.
Uh-huh.
Because I wish that I'd had the traditional art style.
Yeah. It's hard to live
Yeah.
up
Like
to
I really wish that those final scenes with Old Man Sigma had been in the 2D art style. Like really wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2D art style looks significantly better than what they achieved with 3D.
The 3D, I mean, the 3D
I respect what
really
they
good.
attempted with the 3D. It just doesn't quite have the same charm to me.
It grows on me, I think. After
I also think it
play
probably
games.
would look better on a 3DS than it does in like a Steam port.
Mac, what are you saying?
It definitely grew on me by the time we got like further and further into the game. Like this one's a really good shot, right? Like there's some good work that they do with the 3D. But there are certain scenes that there were definitely scenes where I was like, I wanted them to use the 2D more. And I understand they didn't do it because it was on 3DS, but I feel like a perfectly normal way about that ending, and I mean that legitimately. Probably because I saw it coming like an hour ago.
Sure.
When I figured out that they were going to have us jump all the way back to the past to try to reset shit, I was like, they're not going to fucking do that in this game. That's the plot of Zero Time Dilemma.
Yep.
And
also, this game leaves so many blanks. It's like, okay, I have to go play Zero Time Dilemma now to find out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. And
how long was it between this game and Zero Time Dilemma? Coming out?
And I will also say, I now understand how people would have reacted the way that they did to Zero Time Dilemma. Now, having not played it myself, I am withholding judgment entirely.
4 years.
And I don't want anyone to come in. Don't come talk to me about it, etc., right? Like.
Yes.
I'm withholding judgment until I played it myself. But I can understand if you finish a game like this, you wait 4 years, and you are waiting for the conclusion of this story.
Yeah, it's impossible to live up to. Entirely.
It's not. I mean, I don't think it's impossible to live up to.
Okay,
but I
really
can
hard to live up to?
Sure.
Hey, let's go back to Homestuck Day.
Yeah, let's go back to Homestuck Day. I'm gonna catch up on chat really quick. The knife clock, LOL.
Yeah, I was half expecting her to pull out the golden gun.
Hey, that'd be sick.
That would have been really sick.
Hey, why are people screaming? Something wrong?
Well, this was the day that everything went to complete shit.
Oh, hey! Look, 2D art style.
Today is April 13th, 2029, and this is the evening news. Unfortunately, I am very sorry. Actually, I don't even know why I'm doing like a newsreader thing. I don't have any news left to read. All of our stations reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6. So I have my... Excuse me. I've managed to keep us on the air until now, but I am out of tricks. It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast for the day. I pray someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague. Goodbye.
For a moment, I just stared at the TV. The roar of the static seemed to fill the entire room until with a click, it disappeared too. Had the power gone out? I heard footsteps behind me and turned around. Hi, Snake. Or brother, I guess, maybe?
More like sister.
Akane.
It looks like the first step was successful.
What the fuck? You killed me!
Helped?
I guess technically you're going to kill me 45 years from now, but still.
Hey, no need to be rude about it. I didn't kill you. I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine.
I'm okay.
Yes.
Things you to say to someone who you're definitely actually going to stab in 45 years.
You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way.
Me and Phi?
Yes. I only told you about you, but we also needed Phi to jump.
So fucking Captain America ass, like, wake up in a blank room with a television playing.
Yeah. Now, you know what happens next, right?
We go to the moon.
Correct. We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9 along with 3 treatment pods.
Alice and Clover, right?
Yes.
What about the third one? Who's in there?
Phi.
Yeah, okay. When we hit the Sigma is old reveal, I was like, all right, Phi is the one who is in the third pod, not us. Awesome.
We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago.
I think Akane just always knows what her past or future self is up to. Or either that or she just has this all planned out, so she's like, yeah, at the end of it, I'm going to just hit you with the butt of the knife.
I mean, my impression from this and 999 is that, like, something about what happened to her in the very first Nonary game just, like, completely disconnected her consciousness from time in a way that has never reconnected,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's why she's kind of able to... And it also explains a lot about what she goes through in the Nonary game and how that is able to kind of work with this now, because it's like, oh, her consciousness was jumping through time.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
He appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen. That wasn't the Phi who had jumped from point C, though. It was Phi before she jumped from point A to point D. In other words, she was following the same path you are. And she still is.
Then that means that after you froze her, the point C version of her jumped back into her body?
Yes, the point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod. She'll stay there for the next 45 years. Sleeping in ice.
Then when she gets to point
sorry.
B, her consciousness will jump to point A, right?
Correct.
Huh. So that's why she didn't look old. So why don't you just stick me in one of those pods?
We can't do that.
Why not?
You haven't figured it out? You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project.
Stable time loop.
After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering and artificial programming, among other disciplines. Otherwise, you'll be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph.
Sigma,
And-
you have... No, hold on a second. Actually, Jacqueline, I need you to read the last Awful World Kid thing in chat.
Oh yeah, opening Twitch. I gotta just keep this bad boy open. Let's see. How's everyone doing tonight?
Well, it sounds like Theo has one of his kittens running around the house stuck in a paper bag at Mach 6.
Stigma, you have to get a doctorate. It's the only way. You thought you were going to school? No. 45 more years of school. You have to become an AI bro, or else you can't make the funny robot and your funny daughter. You have to be a deadbeat father of 3, Sigma. It's the only way. Have you heard of the Titanic, Sigma?
Fuck.
That's sort of like what your relationship with your children is going to be.
God.
Also, one of them is going to be in love with you.
That's normal, I think. I think that's fine.
It happens. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it's
It
normal.
happens.
You'll also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin.
Oh shit, there's Mad, no!
Okay, we're pausing. We're pausing.
Yeah,
we're pausing.
we're pausing.
I am removing VLR and only VLR from my filters on Tumblr.
Yeah, that's the
Zero-
move.
Yeah.
Zero Time Dilemma will stay. I promise. I promise. But I am removing VLR.
I think the good news is there are probably more VLR like fan stuff than Zero Time Dilemma fan stuff.
That would make sense to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of good 999 and VLR fan art out there.
Actually,
Makes me
hold on.
happy.
I'm not going to do anything until we've actually finished the game.
That makes sense.
All right, we are back.
Cool.
Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin.
Off-world kid, getting an ad for gambling during VLR is somewhat appropriate. I would say getting it during Zero Time Dilemma will be far more appropriate.
Lol, really funny.
January 25th, 2074. You will defrost Phi and carry her to the third AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from point A will force you out. And you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028.
And then I change history. Do you really think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to. If you don't, billions of people will die.
Fucked up thing to put on the back of one guy.
Only you and Phi can save them.
Yeah, two guys.
Hey, aren't they
about-
the funniest 2 guys you know?
Yeah. What about you? Aren't you an Esper too?
I can't do anything on my own. If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
So, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, I guess I gotta go back to school.
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? When Phi and I jump to point A, what are we gonna do then?
You'll both enter the Mars mission test site.
And after that?
I don't know.
What?
I'm sorry. I really don't know anything about what happens in there. We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
Oh, okay, that's why it's called Zero Time Dilemma. Okay, yeah, alright. Then we're screwed.
That's why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds. We need to figure out what happened in that test facility. Things will be difficult. And I'm sure you'll find yourself in a great deal of danger.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen there because we haven't written that game yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet there will be some fucked up situations and also maybe even some heartwarming moments.
Yeah.
Isn't
There
there
might be some...
is there is it a snail or a duck?
Do you want me to answer that question?
One of you has talked about it before.
It's all because of a snail, Mac.
Yeah, it's all because of a snail.
There is a snail. Okay. I couldn't remember if it was a snail or a duck. One of you has mentioned that before, and I have no clue what it means, and I have not spent any time trying to figure it out because it's funnier to just leave it sitting there and go, yeah, I'll figure that out eventually.
There's a street in my town called Snell Street, and every time me and Kiara approach it, we both turn to each other and just go, all because of a Snell. And it's my favorite bit that we do. But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle.
Wait, how do you know it's so dangerous?
The 67-year-old version of you told me what happened. He wasn't able to stop the virus. So I suppose you could say you told me after you failed.
What did I say?
That the test facility is full of traps. There was one point a woman's life was in danger. You risked yourself for her sake and lost your arms and your right eye.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Oh, okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait, brain memory! Brain memory. It's our eye. Really funny shot of young Sigma here.
It is pretty good, huh?
It's pretty funny. Arms jump scare. Congrats, Sigma, you're a failure. The thing is that because we already knew this information, this doesn't count as a twist.
No.
Yeah.
Suddenly, a low rumble shook the building. Well, that'll be the bombs going off and destroying
Yeah, wait, why
the
is he
entire
still wearing
world.
that shirt? Sigma's shirt must smell fucking awful.
It's his favorite shirt.
I thought he just has 30 copies of it. Or actually, was Old Him wearing that shirt? Did we see what Old Him was wearing?
Yes.
Yes, he was wearing it.
He was. He was not wearing it in the hologram.
Uh-huh.
What was that?
Well, so the cybernetics
Go have
don't
a
really
look.
work with the fact that you're also sending that memory between timelines. So I think it is more just his eidetic memory.
Go have a look.
Yeah, Nine of Nails is right. He's a cartoon character. He just has 300 pairs.
I moved slowly to the
pants.
window and peered outside. On the horizon, I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly toward the sky. Would we really be able to change the course of history? No, that was the wrong way to look at it. It couldn't be a question. I had to change history. We could save the world. I'm going to change history. Yes, Sigma! Speak it into the world and it will happen! I stared at the darkening skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed. Manifest, 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 manifest!
The thing is, with Espers, it does kind of work.
Yeah, that's true. With Espers, it does work.
All right, we're through the post-credit scene.
End or
Mac-
beginning.
End or beginning.
Great. That's a great final title card. I love that. That rules.
Mac, how you feeling for
How you
real this
feeling?
time?
Okay, genuinely. Oh my god. Okay,
Akane.
sure, fine. And I like that she's the only 2D portrait.
Oh, Connie.
Connie. I'm normal. I think that I would be. Wait, can you go back to the flowchart really quick?
Yeah, sorry, this cutscene runs for a second.
Oh no, the
Oh,
world
that is true.
explodes. Oh.
In the camera footage where you can see Kay dragging them through the doors, you can see that he's old. It's just low res and distant. You can't really tell.
Interesting.
Interesting. I am going to go now that scroll up. Further down, a little bit further down. Go to the first splint. Okay, it was just a weird graphical glitch that made it look like the first 3 chromatic doors were disconnected from the original novel.
Oh,
branch.
sure.
Now that I own Zero Escape, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna replay the. I say this like I am not drowning in visual novels right
Yeah.
now. But I think if I had figured out less of what was going on, I would be less normal.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that this also plays into the thing that I was saying last week. I want to say it was last week, where VLR is fair play in a very real way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's elements of it that they don't tell you until the very, very end,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of factors you can piece it together on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's not like, maybe you're not going into the finale knowing everything.
Yeah, I think you can figure out a lot of things, but not the old Sigma twist going into the end.
The old Sigma twist, I think you wouldn't necessarily figure that out. But
it has clues.
You could make an
There are clues.
I think you could make an educated guess.
The fact that there's only 3 pods.
Yeah.
So it's either you or Phi is actually didn't go through the pods.
Everyone constantly calling you a weird old man, despite the fact that you're young.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that
the
Phi
fact that
was
you see a mirror and it's intentionally too scratched to see anything in.
Yeah.
A thing that also happens in another visual novel that I love, which is great.
I was so set on Phi being from the future that it just completely did not even.
What's great is we still don't know for sure about Phi.
Yeah, we don't know anything, which is great. I love that. I'm really excited about that. That's fun for me. Having a game that doesn't answer every single question in its conclusion is like, yeah, I like that.
Right. Let's briefly look through the secrets that we unlocked and see if we want to click on any of these. Let me know if you want to click on any
all
of
of
these.
them. Theo said VLR is fair play, but also so many of the clues are just written off by virtue of it being Kotaro Uchikoshi. I agree with that, but I also think that you have a thing where because it's Uchikoshi, you can throw a really out there theory out and be like, but that's feasible because he does bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Which is why I was like, oh, Tenmyoji is older Junpei. Okay, that's realistic. So what does that imply for the rest of the story? Okay, well, the story has to take place in the future. And these people and Clover is still the age that she that she would be if the story took place a year in the future, which means that she's mistaken about, then they show us the cryopod. You've already heard my whole spiel.
Yeah. Would you like the little nitpicking here that the 9 doors open for longer than 9 seconds actually?
That's so funny!
Oh, really good.
Neil said that they guessed the old Sigma twist early on. Great, awesome. That
Very
rules.
Nice.
I mean, I got it pretty once we hit the third Sigma in the pod, and then I went, and I'd been kind of thinking it before. I was like, what if we're not who we are?
What I would call calling a twist is calling it before the actual finale, calling one of the things the finale.
Sure.
We had it pretty hard confirmed that Tenmyoji was Junpei, but still it wasn't fully confirmed to the finale.
I also think that for me, what I was thinking with Sigma when I thought of it earlier was, I was like, well, maybe we don't look the way that we appear. I was like, maybe it's a hologram or it's a weird scrambling thing, which is a real thing that they do in Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. They have it's like a weird filter that makes the protagonist look different from how he actually appears.
Sure.
Which is a great little detail. But okay, yeah, all right. Let's see.
Already did all these.
You did all these.
Oh, show me Sigma's cat problem. Let's go.
Oh yes, I remember this. Sigma has a strange verbal and possibly psychological tic, which causes him to make cat puns whenever he talks about cats. The cause of this behavior seems to be an experience he had as a child. An experience he had a child. Congratulations on your fatherhood. When Sigma was in preschool, there was a deserted house near his school that everyone called the Cat Mansion. He'd always loved cats, so every day he would visit the Cat Mansion and give the cats that lived there some of his lunch. One day he realized he could understand what the cats were saying to one another. A black magical cat appeared and told him that it had given him this gift in exchange for giving food to its fellows. But, the cat said, "You can never tell anyone about your gift," the magical black cat warned. "If you do, you will be cursed." But young Sigma was so happy about his newfound ability he slipped and told a girl about it. So the black cat cursed him. His curse was that he could only speak in cat puns for the rest of his life. Fortunately for him, a magical white cat came along soon after, felt the curse was a little too harsh and lessened it, so that he would only be able to talk in cat puns when he talked about cats. And they lived happily ever after.
I love that is just a thing that is just like a funny tick, and it's just a thing that he does.
Oh, another thing from Mighty Carrick in chat.
For now.
Random old Sigma facts. When interviewed about why Sigma doesn't notice his weird eye, the head localizer said, well, maybe his arms feed him false info when he touches his eyes, since they're also cybernetic. And Uchikoshi, when interviewed, was like, yeah, sure, that makes sense.
I love that. Shout out to Uchikoshi.
Golems are anthropomorphic creatures from Jewish folklore?
This. No, sorry, I forgot about the do you want to jump. Yeah, duh.
Wait, what was the do you want to jump?
You know, every time you jump around in the flowchart. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that is true. That is within the narrative.
Oh my god, yeah. Hey, I should have open the answers like I did for the finale of 999, shouldn't I?
Yeah, maybe so.
I got this stuff. I got it open now.
I do love this post that I saw on Tumblr in the VLR tag.
Oh,
which
important. GOLM, remember our friend Gollum? It stands for Gollum type male, Cockney male, Gollum type male, Cockney model number GOLM.
Really good. GTM post.
I love Dio Zero Escape because you meet him and think, this man is comically unlikable, and surely he can't be one of the bad guys. This must be some sort of aggressive and intentional red herring, and perhaps there is a twist coming that will reveal this to be an unconvincing act put on for his own safety. And then not only is he one of the bad guys, but he is literally a terrorist and in a cult. He is here to explicitly be annoying and get in the way and also kill you with bombs. Acting cartoonishly villainous and saying fuck are just his hobbies, I guess.
And also beefing with an 8-year-old child.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Child. It's so good. Where in the beginning he was like, no, I'm not the evil one. It must have been Quark. He must be an evil mastermind.
It's so funny.
Who or what was the inspiration for Zero the Third? He's hilarious. When Akane was in elementary school, she witnessed a very horrible thing in her school's rabbit cage. That trauma was the inspiration for the design of Zero the Third.
I forgot!
The actual person who created Zero the Third would be Dr. Klein, but Akane helped out in terms of design.
I forgot about the rabbit cage incident. Fuck. That's really funny.
We read this.
Yep. We've talked about the Chinese room. We talked about it a lot. There's nothing new there. Turing test. I think everyone here knows the Turing test. Yeah. That was the thing that Phi speculated at one point, is that we were doing a Turing test.
Turing test.
Where if a human judge can't tell a human from a machine, enough times to be like statistically improbable, then you've passed the Turing test. That's a great joke. Thank you all for World Kid. ChatGPT isn't sentient, but DeepSeek is, because DeepSeek speaks Chinese. With the Chinese room. Not voting is not a option. We read this note. General Purpose Autonomous Labor Electronic Machine. Really stretching the acronym there.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the units in the facility have had their software significantly enhanced by Zero Senior. A portion of them have also been given ABT. The gist of Golm's somewhat rambling explanation is the center of thought doesn't necessarily have to reside in the body. The self was in the mainframe. Could humans be the same? Golem story, the point.
Oh, we got a lot of this, huh?
Let's see. These were injuries. Blah, blah, blah. Not to be confused with a coroner is a government official who assists law enforcement by investigating the causes of death. It's also colloquially for someone who isn't necessarily a government official.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree,
Not
Blue
to
and
be
Celeste. It is
confused with a
believable.
coroner.
It is believable. A believable acronym from someone who works in the sciences.
It is also super gross.
Yeah. Autopsies are super gross. Yeah, I agree, Theo. The balance between, oh yes, Sigma talks that way because of an experience with a magical cat, and here's a scientific explanation of how golems work. Luminol, the visual novel's favorite chemical.
Yay!
Yippee!
Keep
Keep this in mind the next time you're contemplating how to deal with the neighbors listening to death metal at 3 in the morning.
For sure.
At first glance, Case Bracelet seems hardly different from the others. Or it seems different. It seems to be attached to his suit, but it's designed slightly differently, but it's not part of the suit. The bracelet is attached to his wrist, face looking out through a hole in the armor. So no, is stuck in the same situation.
Uh-huh.
Generalized
Okay,
amnesia.
Fuck, I do have to not be in the VLR tag, actually, because I did just get spoiled.
Aw, dang it.
Yeah.
The most minor of spoilers, and with
Yeah, I was
no
maybe going to do
context.
a minor spoiler for Zero Time Dilemma anyway. I'm just going to show off, like, the cover art for it.
Yeah,
Just to
I
see,
do
like,
want to
who
see
our
the cover art for
characters
it.
are going to be. But we got to get through those
but
3 secrets first.
I will straight up and down just tell you right now, it's another Junpei's last name spoiler.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that's
Sure.
hardly a spoiler, also.
It's like nothing, but also I'm like, Also, people need to actually tag their Zero Time Dilemma spoilers because there was some stuff in there that was untagged. I'm not going into people's blog tags for it, so I will need people to just send me shit on Tumblr, please. God, Jesus.
It could be safe to just reblock that thing. I don't know.
I'm not going to.
Anyway,
That's fair.
Let's talk about generalized amnesia. It's a memory condition where the sufferer retains knowledge such as language, social common sense, and so on, but memories of their own past and personality disappear. Its cause is usually psychological, but in rare cases it can be caused by serious head trauma. Kay suggested an extremely painful breakup might be the cause of his condition, but generalized amnesia usually requires a much more powerful trigger than breaking up with someone. In fact, a painful breakup often has the opposite effect. You desperately want to forget, but find it impossible, which leads to all sorts of other mental disorders. Or so the person sitting behind me says.
My fucking God.
PB, do you want other people to also read these?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Twice cooked pork, a Sichuan dish. It's made by pan-frying pork, cabbage, bell peppers, and green onions with dobenjang or tianmenjang flavor for flavor. Paella, a Spanish dish where one cooks rice, meat, seafood, and vegetables in a shallow pot, seasoned with saffron. Nasi goreng, an Indonesian dish made with pan-fried rice, seasoned with sambal, kakak manis, and terasi. Schnitzel, a German dish. It's made by mixing together meat, flour, eggs, and breadcrumbs, then frying the mixture in butter or lard.
Schnitzel's real good. I mean, all of these are real good. I think I've had them all of them other than nasi goreng.
Nasi goreng is so good. Oh, we got more food. Okay.
Yeah, we got more food. You want me to take it?
A Korean dish. The process involves stewing beef, vegetables, namul, and powdered chili peppers together very slowly. The resulting meal is very spicy. Borscht, a Russian dish. Prep is very simple. Just stew meat and vegetables together for a very long time. The finished meal is garnished with beets and sour cream.
Interesting spelling of beets. I'll take the homonym there.
I think of borscht as more than just garnished with beets usually too. Tom Kha Gai, a Thai dish made by stewing chicken, chili peppers, ginger, and nampula and coconut milk, very spicy. And chef's pasta, whatever the chef feels like making. Sometimes you don't even know what it is until you take a bite. Sometimes you don't even know then.
Awesome. Love that. Really
Awful World
funny.
Kid, now you're making me want soft pretzels. I can make pretzels. I've done it before. I could do it again.
Have a nice trauma. Have a nice trace. Have a nice trumpet.
Let's see, what's this one? Free the soul. An emerging religious organization with rapidly growing membership. Some figures claim the congregation numbers over 1 million countries across the world. Originally, the organization is called Free the Soul of Y, but later dropped the Y and simply became Free the Soul. The founder of the religion is only known as Brother, and his true identity is a mystery. Only a small number of high-ranking members have ever seen him. The doctrine of Free the Soul demands its adherents separate themselves from the world, free themselves of lust, and release their souls from their physical bodies so that they can be purified. Its followers believe that they will be born again in a new race, and that the world will be transformed into a place of equality with no conflict or poverty. Considering how a peaceful world of equality with no conflict or poverty usually plays out in the movies, they seem like a pretty scary group of people. Yeah, that was Awful World Kid. That was Dio's sin, is that he was horny, which is why he wasn't perfect.
Yes.
So we went on this mission to like make up for that.
I like this one. Why is Junpei called Tenmyoji? It's because his name is Junpei Tenmyoji. Thank you, Chikoshi.
That's really funny.
Why didn't he just call himself Hand or Palm? What was it that he was going to call himself, and he named himself after his number?
It was Hand. Yeah,
was Hand.
that was one of them. Powerful new religious order dedicated to establishing a new world order, and the Myrmidons are religious soldiers in that secret war. The public doesn't know about them, but their actions have put them on watch lists of intelligence communities across the globe. All of the Myrmidons have the same face. They may all be clones of a single person. No one knows where the source. Tell you, it's a very credible source.
Who the fuck is narrating these?
Brother, this is like bonus, like, not really canonical, The founder of Free the Soul, although he prefers to not be referred as such. I don't know, maybe there is an in-universe explanation for the secret files, although if Sigma did do all the hard solving of the escape rooms, he really should have known what was going on sooner.
Hold on a second. I'm going to read this one.
Please.
As a child, he had a younger brother whom he was very fond of. Unfortunately, the worst happened and the younger brother was murdered. Rage and despair filled brother, and for 9 days and 9 nights, obviously, he was consumed by his own misery. On the morning of the 10th day, however, he had a revelation. Mankind was rife with base desires and needed to be purified so that a new world could come into being. God had spoken to brother and given him a mission. Brother dedicated, and no wonder he's fucking called brother, dickhead.
Uh-huh.
Brother dedicated his life to realizing that mission, and at the age of 26, he established Free the Soul of Y. He claims that Y is a symbol for miracles. Or it's a symbol for branching fucking pathways, dickhead.
Awful World Kid, I actually get the reference. Brother's like, I love immanentizing the eschaton. It's my favorite activity.
Yeah.
I did read the Illuminati trilogy on the recommendation of my brother as like a teenager. And that was sure an experience.
Yeah.
Or Illuminatus trilogy, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen any Fënords. We're good.
And
Is it really from
23.
Revelation originally? Because I always just knew it from the Illuminatus trilogy. Oh. Here's some information that wasn't revealed in the game. The bracelet put on the left wrist of the 9 participants of the Ambidex game is an important feature that's never mentioned. As soon as put on, a needle on the underside activates and inserts itself into the wearer. This doesn't necessarily mean it injects a drug, only that it activates and pierces the skin. Maybe there's something on the needle, or maybe there isn't. All that's certain is that when someone puts on a bracelet, they get poked.
Wonder if that's how they got infected with Radical 6.
Very possible.
Brother got me to read about the Illuminati? I didn't know I was part of the Zero Escape canon. Alright, let's see. AB game.
AB.
We know about the AB
Penalty.
game. Penalty. Penalty for failure is
Penalty for
death.
failure is death.
Voting machine. Hazmat suits. You have to wear it. Yeah, very high. They're in this facility kept at very high pressure relative to the outside environment. You don't say!
You
Yeah,
don't
so
fucking say.
It's on the fucking moon.
Scotch is a type of whiskey made in Scotland. Tenmyoji's favorite drink. Little Scotch should scratch this itch.
Grandpa, stop saying that.
Root beer floats.
Root beer floats my boat.
For the last week, I've been having root beer floats as like my dessert of choice. Because it's super easy to make, and it's super cheap, and it makes my heart warm, and like you can make it with like
low quality ingredients and it's still a root beer float and it's still great. You know, it's like pizza,
yeah.
where like a bad root beer float is still a good thing to consume.
That sounds delicious.
Is there another epilogue sequence, Theo? I thought there wasn't another one. I didn't think there was another one. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, I
They
thought you were
didn't-
just doing a bit, PB, by doing this.
Oh no, I legitimately forgot there was more epilogue than this.
Yeah, there's more game.
What?
Yeah, there's more game. We're not
What
done.
do you mean there's
Fuck, I
more
forgot.
game?
We're not done. I thought the PB was doing a bit by doing all this first.
No, I'm glad you're here. All right, let's see. Let's
Sorry,
get
I
through the
should've
rest of
said
this real quick.
Okay, maxed up. There's more VLR, so be careful. Everyone,
Actually, let's just go
everyone
and
put
do
on
it
your
now.
hats.
All right, let's
Okay.
see. Where is it then? Is it back in the flowchart?
Back of the flowchart, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, shit, it is. God damn it. I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, sorry.
Fucking God.
Infirmary in another time.
I was like, I can't read a lot of these answers because we're just not doing the rest of the game yet.
I'm very sorry, folks. That's a PB bad.
Where?
I see you finally woken up, Kyle.
Kyle.
Yes, of course. You've only just woken up in this timeline. It's only natural for some of your memories to be missing.
Okay. I lurched upright, jumped off the bed, and ran around to the other side of the partition. The mirror over the sink was covered with a film of dirt. I wiped it off with my sleeve, and my reflection stared back at me. There was no mistake. The reflection belonged to Kyle Climb. So I'm Dr. Climb Zero Senior's clone.
What? How do you know that? Shouldn't you be suffering from amnesia?
An excellent question. One I didn't quite know the answer to myself. I knew who Kyle Climb was. In another history, he had been called K and had worn a suit of armor. He hadn't just worn the armor in that history, though. Apparently, he'd worn it all his life. Kyle had been born and raised in this lunar installation, which seemed to be called Rhizome 9. Rather late in his life, Akane had appeared as a mother figure, and he had consequently grown very attached to her.
Thank you for the warning in chat. Mighty Carrick, this section was released without Japanese voice acting because this is strictly non-canon.
Oh, interesting. I knew everything about him, but even though I knew it, I didn't feel it. Was I really Kyle Climb? Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw his face. The spitting image of Sigma Climb in his younger days. I looked down. There was Dio, still handcuffed. Turned back around to Luna.
Oh, that's a good point. It was released because VLR was being released in the wake of a real-world disaster. They didn't want to end on a note of a big-ass mushroom cloud.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. What day is today?
Why, it's Christmas Day! No, actually, sorry, I'm doing a bit. Sorry, that was Lagomorph for a second, popping into my brain. It's January 27th, 2074.
Then today is the last day of the AB project. Akane has explained everything in the garden. Then she drew a knife and attacked Fi. How long have I been asleep?
About 5 hours in real time. For them, it would have seemed like a little more than 2 hours.
So they still haven't been treated for their Radical 6.
No, they've all been given the antiviral. It just takes a while to have an effect.
Oh, I see. So the consciousness of the younger Sigma has gone back into the past. it should have happened right after Akane attacked Phi, right?
Yes.
Why am I here?
The doctor carried you back here. You were in the pod in the garden.
So the person you call the doctor is Sigma Climb, as inhabited by his age-appropriate consciousness?
Yes, but how do you know that?
Dio seems to have remained unconscious.
Yep. I've just been keeping him drugged whenever he gets restless.
What about the others?
They've all gone off to different areas. Tenmyoji and Quark, for instance.
While we're here, 55, what was Kyle's favorite pastime when he was a kid? Angry Birds.
He was an iPad kid!
Oh, right, Mr. Climb.
So the sleepyhead's finally woken up, huh?
What are you two doing here?
You don't know where we are?
This is the upper floor of the pressure exchange chamber. The real one.
Mm-hmm.
We were just about to get dressed and head out.
You plan to return then? To Earth, I mean.
Yep.
Sigma told us where we could find the shuttle that brought us here. Well, guess he's not really the Sigma I knew anymore. He's Dr. Climb now, or Zero Senior, depending on how you look at it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, I'm just curious why you would choose to return to a devastated planet when you could stay here.
How's staying here gonna help? You aren't gonna say something idiotic about how we should wait here until Sigma changes the past, are ya? You can't wait for something that's already happened. Grammar doesn't work that way. Nature doesn't work that way. You following? We've already lived through history. Sigma failed to keep the virus from getting out. About 45 years ago, Radical 6 did a pandemic, and antimatter reactors blew up. This all happened. Whatever Sigma does in the past, history's not going to change. In fact, it's because of what he did or didn't do in the past that we've now got this past and present. Let me give you an example. Imagine a group of 100 motorcycles driving down an endless freeway. Eventually they hit a junction, the road splits in two. One freeway goes northwest, the other one goes northeast. So this one guy, let's call him S, pipes up. Let's go northwest, he says. So they take the northwestern road, but a mile past the intersection something horrible happens. A semi driving the other way veers into their lane and plows through the bikers. 90 of them die. The surviving 10 are wounded but survive. They don't stop though. They keep going down the highway and eventually they've gone 10,000 miles. Then suddenly, something happens that they couldn't have predicted. S, who survived, suddenly has his consciousness thrown back in time. He ends up back in his own body just before they reach the junction. He remembers everything. So what does S do? What anybody would do. Let's go northeast. That means all 100 of the bikers survived to reach their destination happy and healthy. And they all lived happily ever after. That's what you're thinking, right? It's a great outcome for the 100 bikers that went northeast. But what about the 10 who went northwest and survived the accident?
Huh? Wouldn't it be 9 people? I mean, S's mind went back in time, right?
Ah, right. Okay, 9 then. What happens to the reality they were living? Did it just disappear when S changes the past? It's not as if it was only bad things that happened during the 10,000-mile trip. Maybe one of them fell in love with a woman working at a gas station and they stopped at and had a child. Maybe one of them picked up a homeless kid who joined them on their adventure. That 10,000-mile journey would be full of stories. Friendships, farewells, romances. The loss of those 90 horrible and unfortunate, but what would rewriting their history mean? The 9 who survived lived full lives. How could it be right to just erase that? The survivors overcame their own misery and loss, and made the best they could of any hand they'd been dealt. Isn't that worth something? Isn't that the best thing that humans can aspire to? Is there any point to a world where everyone is happy? Everything's happy? Are people who just struggle for a better life just idiots? Being human is about fighting even when it seems hopeless, and finding happiness even in a world that hates it. Are you saying that's worthless? If you're saying rewriting the past will erase all these other timelines, then whatever God wrote those rules can Look, I'm just not gonna accept that, alright? Get it?
If Sigma changes the past, then you and Quark will never meet.
Is he right?
I mean, let's be real here. I don't think Quark would exist. Kind of get Quark was born after the disaster. If the disaster doesn't happen, people's lives go in radically different directions. So it seems unlikely that Quark, or at least the version of Quark we know, would be born.
I mean, okay. You can make that argument, but narratively, I think that you could, like, it's a story, right?
Yeah, like,
So,
Theo's right in chat. Quark's parents could fuck even without an apocalypse.
right,
You can believe.
like, yes, butterfly effect might change some things, but it's impossible that certain things are fixed points in time, and that wouldn't necessarily radically change it. It might change the fact that Tenmyoji never takes Quark in, but Quark could very well still exist.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know that are fixed point in time like a thing that Zero Escape does?
I don't know. I'm just making a point that
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily that that's a thing that's the conventions of Uchikoshi, right? But like I think that just automatically ruling it out isn't
Also, like, I feel like with these games, like, the parallel timelines exist.
right.
Like, they both exist and they're both valid, you know?
Sure.
Anyway.
I love this part of the game a lot because I think this is like the best part of the game is Tenmyoji saying the thing about the bikers.
Yeah.
No.
I think a lot about like the sort of stuff that he was saying about that when it comes to time loops. Like what happens to all of the people what happens to the loops? To the people in the loops, the prior loops that like that all still happened. Like, shrug, whatever.
We're here right now. I mean, that's what this is happening right now, is the people left over after the loop was closed. This is reality. Even if Sigma does change the past, we're not just gonna disappear or something.
Oh. Then that means we get to stay together? Good.
Thanks, kid.
I understand how you feel. Why you want to return to Earth is clear. You have lives there, I imagine. There are likely people waiting for you.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh.
Have you already said goodbye to the others?
Bye, Luna, Alice, and Clover all saw us off. We told them we'd see them again someday and then came here.
Fucked up that you never actually get the fucking, like, anything between Clover and Tenmyoji, whatever. They were the only people you want to say goodbye to?
Yeah, Clover was in that list. No point in saying anything to Dio.
Besides, he's asleep. You're asleep too.
Sorry, but we didn't really know much about you.
You have a point. Akane was in the armor in this timeline after all. What about Sigma?
Well, he's not really Mr. Sigma anymore.
Oh, yeah. He is Dr. Klein now that his consciousness has returned.
Yeah, but more importantly, he's the guy who brought us all here. Not a lot of warm feelings there, you know?
And Akane?
Never mind her. She's just like him. Not the Akane I knew. She must have seen some pretty awful things over the years. Hell, she might not even be human anymore.
That's a fucked up thing to say.
But the Akane Kurashiki I know isn't here.
That's an even more fucked up thing to
She's
say.
not anywhere.
Did Junpei get to talk more with Akane off screen, and if so, what about? For Junpei, there are 45 years worth of feelings. And for Akane, 1,000,000 years worth of feelings and emotions. resonating within them both. There's no way I can write them all here. I just like Akane, living through a million years of time. Like, she's the best.
Yeah.
In the end, Clover and I were just pawns. Pawns to be used and then gotten rid of. Still, it's not like we're completely resentful. We had to be here to help change the past. That part's easy to understand. But
It kinda sucks, though. I mean, Sigma and Phi have it easy. They get to go back to December 25th in 2028. They'll stop the Radical Six and save the world, and then they'll have a nice, normal future to look forward to. Hold on, sorry.
Yeah.
In other words, they get to go back to Point E and just enjoy history like it was supposed to happen. But, oh, this is Alice,
But
sorry.
we don't. We're stuck with Point C as our starting point.
You told us about Tenmyoji's story, right? The one with the motorcycles. It would be like Alice and I were kidnapped right before the intersection. Then whoever grabbed us takes us to wherever the bikers are going, 10,000 miles to the northwest.
Don't get us wrong. We know why we had to be here. Without us, S's consciousness wouldn't have been able to go back to right before the intersection.
If that couldn't happen, then the fate of those 90 dead bikers would be sealed.
Oh, a connection I just made. What shape is it? What letter looks like an intersection?
A T?
What's another letter that looks like an intersection?
O-Y?
Yeah. Also a K.
Okay.
True. But I do think that is what the Y is in that organization's name that they cut after they realized it didn't work.
It's mentioned in the game that Free the Soul was known as Free the Soul of Y before they dropped the of Y. What's the significance of Y, and why was it cut? It means left eye of Horus.
Oh, never mind. Well,
Thanks,
screw me then.
What the fuck? I said this line, so we can go. But
It's still not the best situation for those of us left in the Northwest. We're stuck in the reality where the 90 bikers died.
are we just supposed to go live on Earth? It's a wasteland now. And what about our friends and families? We left a whole world behind 45 years ago.
Even if it is for the greater good.
Just doesn't seem fair, does it?
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
Yeah, his left eye was Horus's left eye was the moon and his right eye the sun. I feel like that came up before. So yeah, so why is the moon, I guess?
Guess so.
So we went and talked to the old lady.
She told us that there is one way.
One way we could get back to the past. Let's say you do go back to the past. Wouldn't that cause your minds to get thrown back here? That seemed to be how Sigma and Phi's jumps worked, at least.
Yes, you're right.
But this is different. Different? How so?
From what she said, it sounds like there is a way we can send our bodies back in time, too.
That's ridiculous. It would create a paradox. How could you have two Clovers and two Alices at the same time? But that wouldn't happen.
Akane says there's a way around that.
How on earth does she plan to do that? Schrodinger's?
What?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Do you think Clover and Aoi could be potential love interests? Answer. I don't know. Does Aoi even like girls? I have to start considering from that.
Shout out, honestly, thanks, Utrikoshi.
Like, we could ask, does Clover even like men? But I feel like Aoi can solve that problem pretty easily.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, hey, Kyle. Figured you'd come here eventually.
Where's Dr. Klein? Luna said you were with him.
He said he was tired, so he's off resting right now. There's a bedroom at the end of the hallway. He's in there if you're curious. Oh, right. He told me to turn on this hologram projector thing when you showed up. Want me to start it?
Sure.
I think I did this once before?
Sure.
Glad to see you. There isn't anything in particular I have to tell you. However, I imagine there are a great number of things weighing upon your mind. I would love to answer all of your questions, but unfortunately my circumstances make that an impossibility. I hope you can forgive me. Everything I know, Fi should also know. I have instructed her to answer any questions anyone might have. Anyone other than Kyle, that is.
Great. Thanks, asshole.
What does he mean other than Kyle?
Who knows? What do you want to ask me?
Right. Well, I guess I may as well cut to the chase. Just who are you, Fi?
I'm not Superman, that's for sure. And I'm not Batman or Spider-Man or Aquaman or Merman or a Wolfman. I'm not a Brahmin or a Common or a Ramen. I'm not a Cayman either. So you really don't need to worry about anything.
Please don't dodge the question.
Aw.
About 5 hours ago, Akane attacked you with a knife. That triggered something which sent your mind back to the past, correct? Specifically, you were sent to Point D, April 13th, 2029. On that date, your body was already in Akane's custody. Although by then, you were in cold sleep. You wouldn't have regained consciousness, but your mind was now inhabiting that body. That pod was your home for 45 years. You slept there frozen until the time was right. Then, on January 25th, 2074, you were finally thawed out, even though you didn't wake up. Still unconscious, you were carried to the AB room. That was when your consciousness changed bodies again. Version of you from December 25th, 2028 arrived, pushing you out and sending you back to December 25th, 2028. Yeah, that shit. This is when you finally woke up. In 2028, you found and joined forces with Sigma, whose older mind was inhabiting his younger body. Together, you attempted to infiltrate the Mars mission test facility. Unfortunately, your plan failed. Radical 6 did escape on New Year's Eve. That failure determined the path you followed. Instead of going along the line that branches out to the right from Point E, you headed straight to Point D. Point D being April 13th of the following year. That was the day you made your way to Akane's hideout and asked to be put into one of the treatment pods. Another consciousness enters your body around that time from the future. You get it. It is, of course, the version of you that left your body when Akane attacked you in the garden, a closed, stable time loop. Cause the two versions of you to swap places. How many times do I have to fucking explain this? You moved 45 years into the future where you woke up on the garden floor. That put you on the line that comes here. So if we discount the time you spent in cold sleep, for you, only 3.5 months have passed since that happened. That being when you were sent back into the past from the garden. Have I missed anything?
No, everything you talked about you got right.
What do you mean by that?
I'm kind of an unknown variable in this equation. You could think of me as kind of an X factor. It's taken me the last 3.5 months to understand it.
And I haven't understood anything in the last 3.5 seconds. Could you please explain?
It's kind of like with the relationship between classical mechanics and modern physics. Strictly speaking, you can't combine velocities with v1 plus v2. v1 plus v2 over 1 plus v1 cross v2 over c caret 2, or c squared, sorry, is the actual equation. Of course, the sort of velocities we encounter in day-to-day life don't come close to being c squared, which is the speed of light squared. That means that the 1 plus v1 cross v2 over c squared is going to evaluate something pretty close to 1. Since that would mean dividing by 1, it's usually fine to just skip that step and use a v1 plus v2. See what I'm saying? In most situations it works even if it isn't technically correct. So you knew enough to get the stuff you were talking about right. As long as you stick to that, you won't run into any problems.
I don't get that at all. I feel like you're dodging my questions.
So what did you want to ask about?
No.
I mean, yeah, you have to decompose you gotta use the Pythagorean theorem to decompose a vector into x, y, and z elements. Yeah, or do projection onto a vector, projected onto one of those axes. I've done math. I know things. That's why I was saying v1 cross v2, because, like, velocities would have to be vectors in three-dimensional space. And not just v1 times v2. And I might be wrong about that. It might be a dot product instead. I don't know physics. But I know that... Or maybe it is, but I know that, like, multiplying higher dimensional vectors, you can't just do straight multiplications.
What I really want to know is what happened between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028.
Actually, I think it would have to be a dot product if we're going to treat it as a number. Yeah, it would have to be dot product.
You and Sigma infiltrated the Mars mission test site, didn't you?
Yeah.
What happened there? How did Sigma lose his eye and both his arms? And why was Radical 6 in there in the first place? What could a deadly virus have to do with a simulated mission to space?
Sorry, but I can't tell you that because we haven't written that story yet.
Why?
It would change history. There is a history where the virus doesn't escape. That's the line that goes to the right of point E. In that timeline, humanity isn't headed for annihilation and Earth isn't red. The future's much brighter. But if I tell you what you're asking me right now, then that reality will disappear. Do you understand?
No. Why would all of that disappear if you told me what I want to know?
You're about to go back to the past, right?
The past? Don't be silly. I can't do that.
Then where the hell did you learn all this stuff? I just listened to you tell me a bunch of things you shouldn't have known about. You were sleeping in that pod in the garden. You just woke up. So how can you know all this? You know my past, Sigma's past. Yeah, if you, the player, were told what's going to happen in Zero Time Dilemma, then we're not going to make that game, because you won't buy it because you already know.
I shall give you your answer. You are not Kyle Klein. Your body is Kyle's, but your consciousness is not. Think about it. Do you really believe you're Kyle? Or could you be someone else entirely?
Then where is the real Kyle's consciousness?
He was thrown out when you entered. Right now, in a manner of speaking, he has arrived at December 25th, 2028. His consciousness has gone into a body from that time.
Can't wait to find out which one of those Zero Time Dilemma guys is Kyle.
I doubt you know how much the Doctor loves Kyle. He raised him on his own. Kyle is irreplaceable. Do you really think he would go back to the past and leave Kyle behind here?
God, Jesus Christ, VLR is about fucked up fathers.
I know what I told the others. That Kyle was Dr. Klein's spare. But that was not his only purpose. Kyle's consciousness is integral to what we are trying to accomplish. This new mission begins on Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve 2028.
Hold on, real quick, pause really fast. I do think it's very funny that it's like, you think that VLR is going to take place between Christmas and New Year's in 2028, and it turns out, no, this game doesn't, but the third one does. Really funny.
Yeah.
Really funny.
Prevent the spread of the virus. For this to happen, Kyle is absolutely necessary.
That's why he created him?
Yes.
So now that my consciousness has entered his body, the doctor has achieved his objective? Kyle has gone back to 2028 to participate in his mission.
Correct.
There's one thing that troubles me. Kyle was created before reaching point B from point D. That means his body didn't exist on Christmas in 2028. Does that mean he's entered my body? Have we just switched places?
I suppose you could put it that way, yes.
That's ridiculous. What's going to happen to me? Are you telling me I have to spend the rest of my life here in this box, living in a borrowed body?
No, not at all. You can travel freely through time and space. You are an uncontrolled variable that entered our closed system.
Akane, that is a fucked up thing to say.
As such, the rules of this world do not apply to you.
I have no idea what you...
Please don't try to play dumb. I know what you are. Surely you must know by now, too. You are about to go into the past and save the world. Phi and Sigma, even with all of his future knowledge, will need your help. Only you can right the horrible wrongs of our past. Only you can save the world.
There's no way I...
Yes, there is. You have to. Don't you want to know the truth? Don't you want to know what happened in between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028?
Well, yeah, of course I do. I'm not a
Then
fucking
you
idiot.
must believe. Reality is shaped by what we believe reality should be. If observation can change the motion of a particle, then how is it odd to think that human thought can shape reality? Your will can change history.
Now,
The world... Hmm?
now, Akane, are you implying that Zero Time Dilemma is going to be a choice-based game where my choices matter and everyone will remember the decisions that I make? Because that's kind of what it sounds like, girl.
Well, all I'm saying is the world we are shaped into the one you imagine.
The way you phrased that, Mac, is really funny for reasons I will not tell you.
Because I have a little teeny tiny theory about who we are.
Remember what I've told you. Only you can change history. Only you can save the world.
It's a far out there theory, and it's because I've been thinking too much about pathologic.
I understand. Alternative end, my friends.
All right. So I don't remember enough of Zero Time Dilemma to remember whether it is actually Kyle's consciousness. I could have sworn it is old Sigma's consciousness in that game.
I mean, we can figure that out when we get
Yeah,
there,
we'll figure
right?
that out
But
when we get there.
It's both? Question mark?
It might be both.
It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. It can just be in whatever. We'll find out.
All right, now that's really it.
My brain on that Akane scene was like, is she talking to the player?
Yeah, she's talking to the player.
I mean,
Great. It rules. It rocks.
she's certainly talking to the
Yeah.
player, right? Like yeah.
Niels in chat
Yeah,
says it is explicitly old Sigma's consciousness, which is why we had the note above that this is non-canon.
Non-canon, yeah.
Or,
Blah.
alternate timeline. It's the Homestuck rule of, hey, you can just happen in a different timeline.
Yeah, you can just have shit happen.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Things happen, and yeah.
Let's see.
Do we want to finish files? Is that...
Yeah, let's jump through the
Let's do it like very, very quickly because
Yeah.
it is late.
Mm-hmm. And I do want to just show off like the cover art or like the character art for Zero Time Dilemma.
Maybe it'd be good to go through some like select secrets.
Oh wait, that's regular files, not secrets.
Yeah. Let me see. We did.
We already read
this. We know all this stuff. We don't need to go through this.
Yeah, we know
really.
this shit about Radical 6.
Next page is.
Let's see, Excelivir.
It
was found and extracted from an individual, which is interesting.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, the secret of Pork's hat. I just want to jump back to that for a second. He keeps snacks in there.
He keeps snacks in there. We love him.
All right, let's
show me the past 2 nonary games, and then I want to see nonary veterans.
Yeah, this is just
16 children are missing. 9 people participated.
And the second one happened in 2027.
Yes.
Nonary veterans. Arrogant, uncooperative young man.
Skittish man gets blown up.
Really good. Hero of 999.
Esper resonance.
Yeah.
Stronger signal absorbs any others nearby.
I think it's probably good for this page.
We know about Luna's necklace.
Cybernetic arms and a device originally created weaponized genetically engineered psychic bears. Just kidding. It's actually an arm augmented for online sex chat. So arm for a mysterious libido-powered robot. I'm just messing with you.
Sigma is the Dave Strider of the Zero Escape games. Fuck.
Yeah. Or is that Akane? No, it's Sigma. It's
Sigma.
Yeah. Let's see. Luna has her necklace.
Someone special gave it to her as a gift. It was probably Dr. Climb.
Sigma believes he can rap.
Yeah.
He's never done it, but he's certain that he'd be excellent at it.
Do we know the zeroth law of robotics? Have we gone over that?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
If zero, a robot may not harm humanity or by inaction allow humanity to come to harm. It has precedence over the first 3, so yeah, that shows up in the later Asimov books, where like you end up with robots that are like actively harming humans to protect humanity.
Yeah. Let me see. Got that. Yeah, we read this one. We've
gentle points.
I was gonna say let's go to Nox's 10 Commandments, but gentle points also we can hit first.
These are measure
how much of a gentleman you are. Someone deep in the United Kingdom is an order all gentlemen determining their based off an ancient and Byzantine collection of rules and guidelines. Every year during the spring, a representative of the organization conducts a cursory investigation of each member's behavior, or at least appears to, and then awards gentle points based on what they say. The following formula is used. The old ladies escorted across the street times top hats owned times puzzles solved times money given to gentleman tracking organization equals total gentle points.
So, Professor Layton is the top of the board every year.
Sure. Yeah.
At least on points 2 and 3, he is killing it. Four-second timer. It doesn't have much use except for really impatient people.
Nox is 10?
Yeah. Or principle of causality first.
I do not want to talk about Nox's 10 Commandments. I know what Nox's fucking 10 Commandments are. Get fucked.
But we have to talk about the Mac.
No, we don't.
But the viewer might not know.
By observing a system, you're defining the past, blah, blah, blah. Cool stuff. Floor B hallway walks. Well, yeah, this was the thing that never came up. Several of the hallways on floor B use special locks indicated by pulling on the map by arrows. On the far side of each arrow is a lever. Pulling these levers will unlock locks. Once this has been done, you can explore the entire area at your leisure. Okay, never mind. Just the fact that you open different doors by pulling the same lever was always interesting to me. All right.
Yeah. Criminal must be mentioned early on. All supernatural or preternatural agencies are ruled out. No more than one secret or passage. No hitherto undiscovered poisons may be used, nor any appliance which will need a long scientific explanation. No one with ESP or similar powers. No accident must ever help the detective. Detective must not commit a crime. Detective must declare any clues he may discover. The stupid friend of the detective must conceal nothing from the reader. And twin brothers must not appear unannounced.
So yeah, we
Stupid
managed to
little
break
game.
just about every one of these.
Yeah, the funny little game.
Really, really funny that they fucking put Nox's 10 Commandments in here.
Yeah.
Have a nice 03.
Have a nice trouble. Have a nice tragedy. Have a nice trust.
Shout out.
Oh, they swapped out a commandment with a different one. I don't know my Noxes as well as.
They swapped out the one that says that the culprit cannot be Chinese.
Oh yeah, that's probably good.
It's complicated. There's nuance, but yeah, the nuance isn't. Yeah.
Conjunction.
Two celestial bodies appear next to one another in the sky. It's
I can't wait to find out why this is here.
I mean, it's because what we thought was a lunar eclipse is actually a solar eclipse.
Okay, that's show me slingshot and then termite.
Can be used as a necklace, but not recommended. Let's see, the test site mystery.
I wanted to see termite though.
Oh, it is good to go back to this just because it's been a long time. What we heard was a woman's voice saying, 6 of us are dead, counting myself, there are only 3 left. I guess you could say I killed them. No, that's not quite right. It's not just them, it's not just these 6, all of them. All 6 billion.
Let's check termite.
Termite. Would you like to read it?
No reason why this is brought up whatsoever. Awesome. Great. Cool. Love that. No, I don't need to read about insects. I just wanted to see it.
Cool. Oh fuck, my computer's at 8%.
Tenmyoji's
We're almost
picture
done.
Yeah.
when she was 12. A guardian spirit. She has a guardian spirit. He must have shown up here because
Yeah.
he always heard about what sort of destiny she had in store. Decided to see how she was doing.
How sweet.
No, hold on. She was 21 in 999?
Yeah.
Uh-huh, because
Okay.
she was
I knew that.
12 for the nonary game.
Okay. I thought she was younger for some reason.
No, you're thinking of like Clover. Clover age, I guess it would be. Junpei and Akane were like college age student types.
Yeah, because she was the same age as Junpei, and Junpei was college age. Minkowski space.
The name of a ski resort for miniature cows.
Lagomorph. Scientific name for the order of which rabbits belong. Oh, that's such a
Yay,
good
Kay.
image. Kay having a good time. Tenmyoji and Alice. Tenmyoji told Alice he had something to tell her. That was, of course, his identity, and she already knew about Alice and Ice 9. Not because he'd heard it from Clover. Clover, as a solo,
told her
was
he was
to say the following to Tenmyoji, her opponent.
What the heck did you mean with all that? It's not fair. If you're telling the truth, then
So what had Tenmyoji said to her? The same thing he'd meant to say to Alice, of course. He told her who he was. That simple fact shook Clover's resolve and made her vote ally. It probably wasn't his original intention to betray her, but after thinking of Quark's safety, he probably felt he had no choice but to betray.
Fucked up.
The mystery of Phi.
So who was Phi? There are a few clues scattered throughout the story, but nothing conclusive. Perhaps the truth will be revealed at the Nevada test site.
excuse me.
Those passwords, they aren't just gibberish. There's something hidden in each one. I can only give you one hint, plus 1.
I mean, yeah.
Alright. So, was there anything else we wanted to chat about before calling it for the night?
I need to read this Tumblr post before we call it for the night.
Uh-huh. And also, I am going to show you just a little hint of what might be in store.
Oh yeah.
Let me find a
Pull
proper
that
picture.
up whilst.
Here we have. This is pretty good. This is our 9 characters.
Danganronpa dialogue. Maybe the killer gave them a heart attack by writing down their name, like with a certain notebook from a certain anime. Huh? Zero escape dialogue. And so, Mr. Tortoise continues to believe there's a teapot floating in space because Mr. Hare cannot definitively prove him wrong. But what if something like that applied to the entire world? Like how there's no way to prove if wearing panties or not unless you offer definitive proof. Umaneko dialogue. Screenshot of an AI overview that says, there's no evidence that ghosts harm people. Economic logic. If ghosts are rational economic actors, they would have no incentive to harm living people. The cost of killing someone would likely outweigh the benefits for the ghost.
Oh my god.
All right. Also, we ended up at a final count of 6 twists. Did anyone bet 6?
I did 5. I feel like someone in chat said 6.
Someone
if not,
definitely
then
said
Jacqueline
6.
does have it. But I do think someone said 6.
Someone definitely said 6.
All right, let's see. Also, I'm just going to pull up a picture. This is just a promo image of the cast of Zero Time Dilemma. Does that sound fair, Jacqueline?
Sure, I think so. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Carrick said 6.
All right, congrats, Mighty Carrick. All right. Display capture. Or, wait, I want window capture.
The cover of the game even has everyone on it, I think.
Yeah. All right, here we go. There is our cast for Zero Time Dilemma.
Isn't that a bright bunch of individuals?
Isn't that a great bunch of people? And maybe a few familiar faces?
Hi-fi.
What's up?
I'm just saying hi.
I love these the familiar and the not so familiar.
Yeah, so who all do you recognize there, Mac?
I have to pick this up and stare at it. So that's Fi.
Yeah.
The girl to her left looks strangely like Luna.
Uh-huh. I would agree about that.
There is a whole ass child.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
There is a fuck boy.
Yeah, we got a fuck boy in there.
I think that's probably Sigma next to the girl who looks like Luna. Hold on a second. I'm allowing a message.
Yeah, we have to allow our chat to say slut. It's fine.
Blocked for the use of the word slut. Really fucking funny, dog. But I don't well, maybe the fuckboy is connected to Dio somehow, but I don't know.
By the way, which one are you calling the fuckboy? The second from the left?
Second from the left.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's any picks
vibes
for
on
faves ahead of time. I don't know. Any judgment ahead of time.
So no. And I will say that I went to the Steam page and I looked at the images on the Steam store page.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Really, really...
The Steam page might honestly have very, very mild spoilers.
Really interesting stuff happening on the Steam page. I love when a Zero Escape game decides to become Danganronpa.
Yeah, it decides to become somewhat more Danganronpa and also a lot more Saw. There's a lot of Saw D&D. This is all DNA.
Listen, I'm kind of into it. I think that's fun.
We enjoy Saw on Moonshot on the Moonshot Network.
I like the first Saw. I will be honest, I don't love the rest of the series. Maybe I'm just a little too squeamish for it.
I've never seen a Saw movie. I'm just a gore sicko.
Yeah.
My also hard swing theory is that Lotus's daughters will be relevant somehow.
We get some Enya and Nona.
I mean, we do have 2 women who are unaccounted for. 3 women who are unaccounted for, I guess, including the Luna lookalike.
One of those could be Enya or Nona. Or both of them.
Any thoughts on the third guy from the right? Standing
Nope.
between the child and Phi?
Nope. And I can't wait for him to be the one that turns out to be heavily connected to somebody in a previous game, just like what happened with Tenmyoji.
For sure. Oh yeah, that's Junpei. Yeah, that's Junpei again.
Yeah, obviously.
Just fucking Junpei again. No, but like.
Also, any feelings about the scene kid on the far left next to the fuckboy?
Nah, not yet.
Nah.
Or the lady.
That's a theater kid.
The lady from the lady third from the left. That's the one other we haven't.
I don't know. All women are queens.
All women are queens. Absolutely.
Amazing stuff. Hey, this has been a blast.
Yeah, this has been so fun. Thank you so much for coming out to this.
Yeah. And as I feel like 999 was sort of Mac's game in a way, and VLR was in a sense the PB experience. I'm gonna bring you both into ZTD soon. So it's gonna become Jacqueline time.
Not too soon, though. We are going back to Of the Devil.
Yeah, no, we have to play Of the Devil. If we don't play Of the Devil soon, I'm just going to play it myself and spoil everything for myself.
Oh, literally same.
Yeah. And now Of the Devil, I think probably back next weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
As current plans.
Hell yeah.
And then
we'll see if we can get Jane back on after that.
I think she'll be back on.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what we do next there. I have to imagine Of the Devil will last us a few streams.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not. I know that it is not short.
My called shot is that we will start VLR at some point before the end of the year.
Play it again.
All right. Thank you so much to our audience who's come out to this entire series. This has been like one of the longest single game series that we've done on Moonshot. Certainly the longest thing that I have done. But it has been so delightful to have an active audience who participates with the games, people who show up every week or almost every week. And even those of you who just showed up for like this finale, I'm still so happy to see every single one of you. The fact that anyone comes and hangs out while we play visual novels and get distracted talking crap about characters, it brings so much joy to my heart. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you all.
All right. And check back in tomorrow for Sleepover Sunday with Tandrew, the tanned version of Andrew from his cruise, and Sam. I'm sure they will have a good time. All right. Yeah. Peace, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.